head coach at Mission Viejo High School. I was at St. John Bosco with Chris back there. He's the quarterback at St. John Bosco. He's unbelievable. Probably do his presentation at hell a lot better than I can. I just want to talk to you guys today about quarters coverage and an even front. Whether you're in a 4-2-5 or a 4-3, it's pretty similar. And my whole philosophy when I speak at clinics is I'm trying to give you guys as much information as possible. So I'm not going to talk about program development. I'm not going to push any type of philosophy on you guys. All I'm trying to do is give you as many X's and O's as you can to take home with you and then implement the things. Hopefully you take 1 or 2 things back with you. You can implement it in your team, in your program, okay? Obviously, I don't think you can run all the stuff that I'm talking about today. It's all quarter stuff. I think my personal philosophy as a head coach is defensively you have to be multiple. You can't just sit in one thing. Even as good as De La Salle is, we played them and we had equal talent to them when I was at Bosco, and they sat in an even front and played, split safety defense or cover 3. Blitz very little, didn't change their front almost, ever. And we put up 55, more points than anybody in the history of De La Salle. So my main talk today is going to be on quarters, but I'm really trying to encourage you guys that if you think you're going to sit in quarters or sit in 3 or sit in 2 or sit in man the entire time, I think you're going to get exposed when you come across a team with equal Johnnies and Joes, okay? So here's a picture, cover 8, adjustable quarter coverage. I'm a teacher, so one of the things we know about teaching is you got to front load your students with vocabulary. So I'm going to go over some vocabulary right now, so when we get to some of these buzzwords down the road, you're going to know the definitions of these buzzwords. Okay, so here we go. Primary run support. Okay, primary run support is a defender that is immediately involved in the run game when they see run action in the backfield. Okay, a secondary run support player is somebody that is going to be a fit as needed guy, and we use the acronym FAN, fit as needed. He is not primary. He is not involved in the forcing the play. He doesn't have a gap responsibility. He is secondary. All right, so he's going to make sure he clears that there's no pass, and he's going to come late to the party and clean things up. Oftentimes, that's a corner in cover 3. That could be a safety in cover 2. Okay, a primary run support player would be linebackers, a corner in cover 2, a safety in cover 4, a roll down safety in cover 3. Those are primary run support players. Okay, MEG. This is an acronym that we use. It stands for Man Everywhere He Goes. The term is primarily used, played by corners by playing press man technique. You can play off with it, but primarily press man. The only exception there is the receiver goes immediately to a shallow cross. That's a decision you have to make whether or not you want to follow him or not, or you want to pass it off to the wall guy. I'll get to that in a minute. Force player. Oh, by the way, guys, this quarter coverage I'm talking to you about today, the last part of the talk is about matching down coverage with your under coverage with your backers. So we're talking about match quarters today. Okay, that's a decision you have to make. The defense quarter that I have right now was my coach in high school. He is not a match down guy. I am a match down guy, and him and I kind of went round and round. So I said, okay, I'm gonna let it go the first year. I'm gonna see how he does, and the guy ends up breaking the school record interceptions with 26, and also broke the record in sacks. So I was like, okay, you're good. We'll keep on doing your way. But when I was at Bosco, we absolutely matched as much as we could, and it takes a lot of time, but I think it does give you an advantage. But there, of course, to anything you do, there's advantages and disadvantages. We'll go over those. Okay, force player. This is the defender whose responsibility is to force the football back inside. Your old outside arm free. This defender must keep leverage on the football and is usually a curl flat defender in a zone coverage. Okay. Fan player. We know this already. This is an acronym that stands for fit as needed and refers to how a safety fits in the run off of an overhang or an outside backer. It could also be if you're playing some type of inverted, cover 2 or something like that, where the corner is a fan player to a dead T side. Palms coverage is a coverage where all 3 members of the triangle are reading the release of number 2 and react accordingly. Again, we're going to get more into these. I just want you to kind of have familiarity with some of these buzzwords. Nail coverage is a coverage that we basically use the word nail, and we're going to play 4 press, where the corner is going to press man, the outside receiver, and then the backer and the safety inside and quarters are going to play over number 2. Solo coverage, a lot of times people call this 4 push. Okay, solo coverage is when there's a 3-by-1 situation. The corner is going to be man-to-man on the backside X by himself. And then, of course, your will backer or your backside linebacker, if you call him something different other than will, fine, buck, jack, whatever you call him, doesn't matter. But he's got the running back man-to-man on the weak side. The safety is going to push to number 3 vertical from the 3 receiver side. Again, we'll go over that more in detail. Okay, Cleo coverage. Other people call this mini. Okay, other people use the word mini for this. Mini is a coverage where you're going to play man-to-man on one of the outside receivers. Normally it's to the 3 receiver side, to the to the outside receiver. You're going to man him up, and you're going to play a mini coverage underneath. So basically you're taking one receiver out, and you're going to play a cover 2 to everyone else. Does that make sense? Okay, all right. That's Cleo coverage or mini coverage. Sting is a call that we make when the coverage with a safety and corner will invert and play a cloud coverage to a wing formation. Also, 2 back tight end, dead tight end formations as well. And again, we're going to have pictures and go over all this stuff. Bronco coverage is a coverage with a nickel. Will play outside leverage to the number 2 receiver, with traditional cores behind them. Is used primarily towards the running back offset side in 2-by-2 formations. The reason why he's offset outside is to be able to see the running back come into the flat, get the push call from the mic, and match the flat by the running back. Read coverage is the coverage where all 3 members are reading the triangle, number 2 receiver, and react accordingly. Again, we'll take a deeper dive into read coverage later. Okay, cloud coverage. All right, this is stuff you can run in quarters. I really like it to where you're playing 2 back formations, okay, especially trapping the corner, 2 back formations to the split out single receiver side. So if you're thinking like pro offense, Y and Z, and then X is by himself, 2 backs, I think playing trap and even maybe crashing your corner and pirating your weak side end is a difficult thing for offenses to handle. Okay, so cloud or trap is coverage where one corner plays a hard phone technique. And if it's trap, it's going to be inside the receiver. If it's cloud, outside the receiver. And the outside back will play curl. Okay, and the safety is going to play over the top. And trap technique refers to the corner playing inside of 1. Okay, so basically it's cover 2 technique. Does that make sense? Okay. Stress. This is a coverage that is played against 3 receiver formations where the safety and the corner lean on 2 and 3. Guys, in quarters, stress is basically cover 3 to the 3 receiver side. Okay, and we'll go over that more later, but you're going to hear me say the word stress and think cover 3 to the 3 receiver side. So the safety and the corner are going to lean on 3 and 2 in their quarter, while the nickel and inside backer play hook to curl and then curl to flat. They'll pattern read, 2 to 1 and 3 to 2 to 1. Slug. This is a coverage played in a 2-back situation to the single receiver side when the receiver is detached. Joker is a coverage we play only to a dead tight end side in a single back formation. So that's when, most people call this formation trips. You guys know what I'm saying? So tight end's by himself, 3 receivers detached, right? 11 personnel. All right. And the reason for Joker is if you get run at the dead T side, they're running horn sweep at you, single back power, wide zone at you, and you don't feel real comfortable to your corner making that play, you can just run Joker in your corner and your safety switch, and the corner now will be the 4 push guy to the field, okay, and then the strong safety will play solo, on the dead T tight end. So he'll watch tight end blocks. Strong safety becomes a fan player, so that usually is an uncovered gap there you might have in your defense. And that strong safety will go and cancel that gap once these tight end block. And it might be a better tackle. That's why when I put that guy there instead of a corner who's a little guy playing press man, you don't like him in the tackle game, okay? All right, and we'll show a picture of this later, guys. Finally, buzz. This is a coverage that I believe you can give your corner some help on. So if you are playing quarters defense and you're going against Brew McCoy from Mater Dei, and you look over there and you got a sophomore out there and he's shaking his boots, peeing down his leg, I think this is a coverage where you can take your outside backer, try to get a reroute on 2, and then buzz underneath 1 and get your outside backer underneath 1 in a high-low of their dominant outside receiver to give that kid some help. And then you got to screw your safety down behind it, though. After number 2 clears the reroute of the backer buzzing, he's got to own number 2. Does that make sense? So if you're going to play buzz, you better have a safety that can play number 2 pretty much off man. You guys got that? Okay. And then MOD, this is an acronym that stands for man only deep. and refers to the corner reading number 1 through the play. If number 1 pushes vertical, the corner will play a man-to-man. If number C runs a short route like a hitch, the corner will sink and look help down on number 2. Okay, so if you see the word mod. Okay, all right, what is cover 8? Okay, so now the vocabulary is done. What is cover 8? Okay, cover 8. 4 down lineman, cover 4 behind it. 4 and 4 equals, there we go. Cover 8 is a course coverage that has many checks and variations that are based upon 3 principles. How many backs are in the backfield? How many receivers are to one side of the field? And are the receivers detached or attached? So that's the very first thing we're looking at is it's a check me coverage that we're looking at how many backs in the backfield. Now again, guys, I am not suggesting that you run cover 8 the entire time. Okay? Cover 8 can be your base. But maybe because of what they do offensively, you don't like cover 8 check with me principles in certain formations. So you're going to run cover 3 to that. So maybe you have, cover 8, 3 check with me. 83 check with me. You're going to run cover 8 or cover 3 based on what they come out in. Okay, if they come out in the 1 or 2 formations that we talked about we don't like in our scouting report, we're getting out of cover 8 and we're immediately running cover 3. You guys got what I'm saying on that? Okay, because I do think there's formations that as an offensive guy, if you sat in this, I would love it. You know what I mean? I think other defenses are better. So they break the huddle, or they line up. You come out, okay? I have a receiver attached to my side. There's 2 backs. I immediately know what I'm going into. Okay, I have a receiver attached to my side. He's the only guy. There's 1 back. I immediately know what I'm checking myself into. Does that make sense? So it's split coverages. What's being run on the right side is not the same as the left side. It's based on how many backs, how many receivers, and whether those receivers are detached or attached. Yeah? Okay? And then there also can be split rules because some of these coverages and quarters are tough to handle with certain receiver splits. Okay? And we'll go over that as we go over the different coverages. So, depending on the answers to these 3 questions, the coverage will check and change. Cover 8 is based out of a 4-2-5 defense. This talk is out of a 4-3. So basically the nickel and the Sam are synonymous. This means there are 4 defensive linemen, 2 backers. In this situation, 3 backers, 2 safeties, and 2 corners. Okay, and I changed it also. I just put the word outside linebacker. Okay, whether you want to run a 4-2-5 and make that a safety, or you just want to line up in a 4-3 it's a backer, it's the same difference, guys. So now we're going to dive into the first quarter's coverage, which is Palms coverage. Okay, now I will say this, that Palms coverage is kind of making its way out of cover 8 because people know how to attack it so well. But I just want to share it with you guys. It's very similar to old school 2-read. Okay, just so you know. Okay, all right. So Palms coverage is a coverage where all 3 defenders are reading the release of the number 2 receiver. So everyone's eyes, once they get a drop back pass key, is going to be on the number 2 receiver. If the number 2 receiver goes out, okay, so number 2 goes out right now under 5 to 7 yards, the corner is going to come off and play the flat. Now, what we don't want to do in Palms is jump the flat. Okay? If we jump the flat, now the safety, who is also reading number 2, and when he sees number 2 go to the flat, is responsible for getting over the top of number 1. If the corner jumps the flat immediately, you're going to get hit with hole shots. You guys got what I'm saying? That's the number 1 thing I'm going to look to do you is run exit. Okay? And I'm going to run exit where number 2 is going to run a quick out, number 1 is going to run a vertical, and we're going to try to rip that hole shot, okay, right in that hole as the safety's trying to rotate over the top. You guys got it? The other thing that Palms coverage gets affected by is big splits. So if there's a really big split between 2 and 1, the distance of that safety getting over the top of 1 when 2 goes out is a greater distance. So I'm suggesting to you guys do what you want to do. I'm suggesting to you guys to not use Palms when the receiver splits are bigger than a normal, when they take a plus split. You guys got it? It's good in negative splits, okay? It's good in normal splits. It's not good in my opinion, okay, as a coach. It's not good with big splits. And that's the reason why is the distance the safety has to go when 2 goes out. If that distance is great, you're going to get hit with hole shots. So what does the corner do? The corner is reading number 2. Okay? When we first started this defense at Bosco, we actually had our corners butt to the sideline. They shuffled out. Okay, then we changed it to inside foot back, inside leverage, 7 to 8 yards off, 1 and 2 inside foot back, so we can see the quarterback get an on-off run pass key, then the eyes on pass go to number 2. Okay, so I'm walking out, reading number 2. I see number 2 come to flat. I immediately, okay, now I'm going to get my butt to the side and open up, because we want to be able to play, you know, a hole shot or a smash concept. I call smash concept a high-low of the corner. Whether you're running hitch corner or speed out vertical, it's the same exact thing to me as an offensive guy. So now we want to midpoint that, get our eyes to the quarterback, and not play a game of screw your neighbor, which is your safety, by jumping the flat right now, and now you're getting up the hole shot. Okay? So I want that quarterback, I want to look at his front shoulder and see him go to the flat and separate his hands, and I'm going to drive off of it and then go ahead and blow up that flat route. What I'm not going to do is this. I'm not going to sit back there, set, go, I walk out, I see two go on the flat, I'm just driving it right now. And then my safety, who's doing the same thing on two, he's reading two, see two on the flat, he's opening up, the ball's thrown and caught, now it's a 30-yard game. You guys got that? I want that quarterback to drop back and read that corner, like, what is he doing? That hesitation is all I need for us to get to where we need to go. Does that make sense? Okay, now, where did I leave off? If number two receiver goes out, the corner will come off, okay, play the flat. Sit over top. If the outside linebacker will work underneath number one. So the outside linebacker is involved in this coverage as well. So he's going to turn his belly button to the slot receiver. He's going to get hands on it. Sees number one or two going to the flat. He's going to immediately open to number one. If they're running curl flat, he's going to settle underneath the curl. Does that make sense? Take away the curl, safety's going to go over the top, all right? If number two receiver goes vertical, okay, goes vertical, the outside linebacker is going to get hands on and reroute. You've got to teach that, all right? Quarters does not work if slot receiver is going to running start at safeties. You got what I'm saying? Okay? You've got to do a good job reroute with your outside linebackers. The corner will mirror the release of number two. So here's the thing. If I'm the corner, my eyes are on number two. If I see number two take a vertical release and an inside vertical release, 9 times out of 10, number one's going to do the same thing. Double post, dig, all the quarter beaters, right? Dig post, double post, climb route, post curl, all the quarter beaters. So if number two, okay, goes inside, chances are number one's going inside. You guys get what I'm saying? Okay? So now if I see number two taking a vertical inside release number one, I am now going to try working my back pedal to get more inside number one, and now my eyes go to the corner. My corner eyes go to number one. Does that make sense? And I'm playing him man-to-man in my corner. All right, the corner will mirror the release number two, stay inside number one. The safety will take number two, man-to-man once the receiver gets behind the outside linebacker. Okay, that's an area that everyone can talk about. Is that area 8 yards? Is it 10 yards? Is it 12 yards? What we talk about is once that outside linebacker, okay, has a jam, the receiver works through him, usually it's around 10 yards, then the safety owns it. Now, here's the next decision you got to make, okay, in this coverage. Do you want your safeties jumping digs? Okay, how aggressive do you want your safeties in quarters? That's a conversation you have to have as a staff. Okay, it's a big conversation because I'm telling you right now, one of the easiest things for us to do offensively is to drop back and read your safety and see him jump the dig and go throw a post. You know, and we talk about it all the time as quarters coaches of DBs. The number one route you cannot get beat on is a post. Your inside leverage playing off man, 1 or 2 yards inside, 7 to 8 yards off. The number one route you cannot give up is a post. But as we all know, they give up posts, right? That's a big time quarter beater is your dig post concept or your double post concept. So you have to make a decision. Maybe you're saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to jump digs. We're going to make you throw the dig and complete it versus our match down coverage and shows you can complete a dig before we're going to get aggressive with our safeties and jump it and then giving you the post. We're going to see if you can fit a dig in a window. Okay, it's definitely a heck of a lot easier. I coach quarterbacks. Okay, that's my deal. So set, go. If I drop back, I coach quarterbacks and I see pre-snap, that safety's low on the hard deck. And I'm looking at him and I see him, I take a snap, I drop back, and that dude's walking out. I mean, he's not back, he's walking out. His eyes are buried on two. Two makes the dig break, he settles his feet. I mean, that's easy. Hitch, rip a post. That's easy. Now all of a sudden, I drop back, eyes on the safety, so I'm running dig post. All of a sudden, set, go, I drop back. Safety goes, back pedals, does not jump the dig, takes away the post. Now my eyes got to go to the under coverage, try to fit a window on a dig. To me, that's a lot more difficult, right, for a high school kid to do. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you think, hey, listen, coach, you know, we play in a league where guys can't throw the ball that far, so we're going to try to take away short routes and force them to throw posts. great. I'm just saying, think about it, talk about it, and the reasons why you might want to choose one or the other, all right? Okay, now, usually the depth is around 10 yards, but can change on play action. Last, number 2 receiver goes in. There's always 3 ways a receiver can go, right? He can go in, out, or up. Correct? He's not going to go backwards. That'd be stupid. Okay, forward, left, or right. If the receiver goes in, okay, so now the receiver is going to go in right now in a shallow cross. The outside linebacker will work underneath number 1 in the curl. Okay, obviously if there's a running back involved, you have to worry about that. But we're saying there's no running back involved. The safety, okay, will zone off and get his eyes back to the quarterback and look to the middle of the field to rob a crosser. 9 times out of 10, when you have a shallow cross coming from one side, what do you have coming from the other? Some type of in cut, right? Some basic, maybe it's double shallow, something like that. Usually if it's shallow cross from one side, there's some type of intermediate cross or something come from the other side. Yeah? Okay, I mean, I don't see a lot of teams running double shallow cross from 1 and 2. Right? It's going to be either 1 or 2 running a shallow cross, some guy clearing out, and then something coming from the other side, a dig, a post, a crosser, something. So if I'm the safety, I see 2 go in on a shallow cross, I don't need to open up to 1. Why would I open up to 1? Do I want to triple team the X? No. I know the offense has now added a receiver to that side of the field. So they basically created trips. They started in 2x2. The guy ran an immediate shallow cross to the heels of the defensive line, and now they have trips on you. I need to have a safety looking for something coming back. So my safety, okay, when he's in shallow cross, is going to look, zone off, means eyes to the quarterback, knowing that I'm looking for something coming back. A basic, or I call it a basic, but it's basically a dig, an in route coming from their side. You guys see what I'm saying? Your outside linebacker will play that. Now, if you are matching, okay, I'm going to talk about this right now. So even though it's the third talk, let me just talk about it right now because some of you guys probably won't stay the whole time. If you are matching, okay, it's important to understand, okay, if the running back is away from you, the outside linebacker away from the running back in a 2x2, which is clearly a 2 receiver set, okay, needs to wall the first crosser. Okay, so what that means is that outside linebacker, when he sees number 2 trying to run a shallow cross, he is going to jump it and wall it. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, and that's something a little bit different. And basically, when we match down coverage, guys, we think of every single formation as an empty formation. Everything's empty. Okay, meaning if it's 3x1 and the running back is offset to the single receiver side, that's 3x2. If it's 3x1, the running back's offset to the 3 receiver side, that's 4x1. You guys get what I'm saying on that? Okay, and we'll get to that later, but just have an idea of the match down principles. Are there any questions on palms before I move on to the next variation of quarters? Okay, so palms is the coverage you want to run when 2 receivers are detached. Does not matter how many backs are in the backfield. I don't care if it's 2 receivers split out with 2 backs, 20 personnel. I don't care. Okay, I don't care if it's 2x2 with 1 back. You get what I'm saying? I don't care if it's two receivers, a dead T tight end like slot, and 2 back. We're just going to play palms, okay, as one of our cover 8 variations to 2 receivers detached when they don't have normal splits or minus splits. We're not going to play versus plus splits. Okay, 2 goes out, safety gets off of 1, corner has flat. 2 goes vertical, safety owns vertical, corner owns vertical. Okay, and that'd be like the mod. And then if it goes shallow cross, outside linebacker, if you're walling, outside linebacker is taking. If you're not walling, you don't want to wall, you're not matching down, you're spotting, outside linebacker may make an in call, he's going to drop to the curl, and the safety's going to have his eyes to the quarterback and zone off. Any questions on that? Okay, moving on. Okay, read coverage. Read coverage is the coverage where all 3 defenders are reading the release of number 2. Okay, all 3 are reading the release of number 2. This is your traditional quarters coverage. If number 2 receiver goes out, the outside linebacker will take him. So I think this is really good to have these 2 differences for high school quarterbacks to confuse them. Okay, so think about it. You're a high school quarterback. You drop back the first play and you run number 2 on a 5-yard out, right? And the next guy is pushing vertical. Well, the first play you run it, they're in palms, and the corner takes the flat. The next play, you're like, okay, that got me. I was late to the hole shot, it got covered. So the next time, like, hey, I'm throwing this hole shot. I know the corner's coming off, as soon as 2 goes in the flat, I'm ripping this hole shot. set, go. I dropped back, I ripped that whole shot because I thought it was going to be palms again, but you changed it to read. And now the outside linebacker has the flat and the quarters are sitting in this quarter. And now you're like, ah, crap, I was going to throw the whole shot, but really the flat was there, but you keep on changing the looks for a quarterback. I think that's the most difficult thing that I have to teach my quarterbacks is when they're mixing up their looks and everything's sound, right? It's difficult. Okay, that's not easy, especially when you can make it look the same pre-snap. Okay? All right, so read. So if I ran the exact same play, 1 going vertical, 2 going out. The outside linebacker would play the flat, the corner would play the vertical, the safety would look to rob the curl. So if the first play, if I ran curl flat against it, the outside linebacker would play the curl, the corner would play the flat, and safety's over the top. Palms, right? I run curl flat again and read. Outside linebacker plays the flat, safety robs the curl, corner's over the top. Same exact play, but I defended it completely differently. You guys got what I'm saying? Okay. If the number 2 receiver goes vertical, the outside linebacker will reroute 2, turn his eyes to number 1. The corner will mirror the release of number 2, stay inside number 1. The safety will take number 2 man. Once the receiver gets behind the outside linebacker, usually steps at 10 yards. Again, this is a point of conversation. Are we jumping digs or are we not jumping digs? Okay, that's a question you have to answer as a staff. If number 2 receiver goes in, outside linebacker works to the curl, safety will zone off and look to the middle of the field to rob across their corner, will turn and play eyes on man. So as soon as the corner sees 2 go in, okay, he now is going to turn to his receivers, X, and play him an off man. All right, any questions on read? It's like your traditional quarters coverage. No? Okay, moving on. Okay, now we're getting into some stuff that we like to do when the running back is offset towards us. Okay, so it's 2 by 2, and the running back is offset towards one side in the shotgun zone read offense. Okay, so right now, if you imagine the quarterback is right there. Okay, there's the quarterback. So Bravo coverage, the coverage where the outside linebacker will play outside leverage of the number 2 receiver. The outside linebacker will funnel the slot in towards the safety, keeping his eyes on number 3, who is the running back. Okay, in a minute you're going to see it's reciprocal learning when we play a mini coverage 3 by 1. It's very similar to Cleo. If the running back goes into the flat, the Mike makes a push call. Outside linebacker now is responsible to play the flat. The Mike then will drop to number 2. You guys get it? Okay, all right. And he will take what's called final 3. Okay, that we're constantly having the Mike in cover 8. Match final 3. Okay, so right now number 3 is the running back pre-snap. The ball gets snapped. The running back swings into the flat. Who is immediately number 3? Who? The slot. Okay, what if the slot pushes vertical and number 1 runs a shallow cross? Number 1 is number 3. Does that make sense? So the Mike is always trying to drop to final 3. Another way of saying it is this. The Mike is going to look for first crosser. So if he checks number 3 and number 3 works out, that's not a crosser. I now drop to number 2. Number 2 works out. That's not a crosser. I check to number 1. Number 1's coming screaming at me on a shallow crosser, a dig or something. That's a crosser. Okay, that's the first crosser. You guys got it? Which ends up being final 3. Follow me or no? Okay. All right. Okay, then finally, the corner. The corner is in mod coverage, which means he is only going to man the outside receiver if the outside receiver runs a vertical route. Okay, he's not going to jump a hitch. Okay, he's not jumping a hitch. All right, we're going to give that up and rally to it. If they run smash, we're going to double a 7 cut. We're not jumping a hitch here. Okay, you guys got that? Okay, now, if you wanted to meg him, you certainly could. Okay, you could put the corner in press man and play more of a nail look, and you take away the hitch, and you could double a 7 cut from the outside back on the safety. You could do that. Okay, but if you're just going to play Bronco cut or Bronco or Bravo coverage, there's 2 different ways you can do it. Then no. Okay. All right. Nail coverage. Nail coverage is coverage where the corner will mag press on number 1. Okay, mag press on number 1. Okay, that means he's taking him out of the game. Okay, this is going to be what a lot of colleges are doing right now, especially guys like Alabama. They're going to go find the best 2 corner 5 stars they can find, and they're going to play press man the entire game as much as they can. The outside linebacker and the safety are going to be responsible for number 2. Okay, it's very, very easy coverage to teach. I'm playing press man number 1, taking them out of the game. They're erased off the board. Okay, I'm going to play a high-low bracket basically on number 2. If number 2 goes in or out, okay, if he goes out, the outside linebacker takes him. If he goes vertical, a safety has him after a reroute. If he goes in, again, it depends whether or not you're matching down. If you wallet, if you're not matching down, you're just going to zone it off, let the crosser go, make an in call, and sort it out with the spot drop. Okay, you're not going to man drop and match it. Any questions there? Okay. All right, Mike, linebacker, and nail. Obviously, if the running back is involved in a 2x2 and the running back runs a swing, he makes a push call to the outside linebacker. Then Mike and the outside linebacker switch responsibilities. Outside linebacker has the flat, the running back. Mike will then drop to number 2. Okay? Okay, cloud coverage. Cloud coverage is the coverage where the corner will play a hard funnel technique on number 1. The corner will keep sinking until something brings him up. Okay, I'm big on this. I know cover 2 is coming back in a big way right now. That's fine. I like cover 2. But we've got to remember, guys, the biggest thing the offense corners are going to try to do against cover 2 is see if those safeties can truly play a half of the field. You know what I'm saying? I mean, cover 2 means those safeties have a half of the field each. Okay, so I'm going to push you and run verticals with 1 and 2 and see if I can slip release your corner, outside release your corner in the cloud, and I'm going to put 2 verticals, 1 on the hash, 1 on the sidelines against your safety and see if he can play. Okay, and whichever, if he gets off the hash, I'm throwing the seam. If he stays on the hash, I'm throwing the whole shot. So we want to try to give our safety some help with a great funnel. Okay, so the first thing you want to teach in cover 2 is making sure the outside linebacker is widening the slot, okay, with his technique and his footwork and rerouting him, and then the outside receiver is getting rerouted in. Okay, so if you think about funnel, taking a big area to pour something liquid in, maybe like your oil into your car, use a funnel. So it's a big area, it's going to funnel into a small area. That small area is the distance that safety has to cover in his half. If that distance is huge, defense loses, offense wins. If that distance is small because you close the distance from the split between 1 and 2, as they push vertical, safety, defense wins. Okay? So that's cloud coverage. You can trap it, like I talked about earlier, by taking that corner and playing on a trap, playing an inside number 1. Very, very good against bubble game. Also, I really like trap coverage in 20 personnel to the single receiver side. I think that's a really good deal to the boundary because you're not really thinking about in the RPO game that corner coming in and cobraing or trapping. You're thinking you're just going to block. So now all of a sudden, in the single receiver side, you trap your corner, pirate your line, get the run play to spill right to an unblocked corner who trapped, right? And that X receiver is like, ah, crap, he's inside, I can't clip him. And now it sits over the top, so you haven't covered for an RPO, and you spill it right to him in a trap. I think that's a good deal. All right? Okay, so cloud coverage where corner will play hard on a full technique, and then he will keep on sinking until something brings up. What I mean by that is this. Just like palms, if we get number 2 on a quick out, okay, we're not just going to jump it and give him a whole shot. Okay? All right? The biggest thing that I want to do in cloud, the reason why I think it's important to have in your cover 8 toolbox is because most of the coverages in cover 8 are going to take away the inside and force you to throw outs. Well, if you're getting hit with outs, if you're playing somebody that's what they're just going to keep on taking outs. Speed out, speed out, speed out. You're playing palms, you're off 7 to 8 yards, 1 or 2 yards inside. That's the route you're giving up, right? You're giving up the out, okay? All right, unless you're going to play 4 press. But everything else, you're giving up the out. You're giving up the out. Well, I think you have something in your toolbox that, as you call it, takes away the out. And we all know that cover 2 takes away a speed out. If that guy completes a speed out versus cover 2, you got issues, okay? You got issues, all right? But you don't want to just leave yourself wide open for a hole shot. So my corner, we teach our corners that we're going to play not flat to fade, we're going to play fade first, flat second. Okay? So we're going to get hands on 2. We're going to keep on sinking with eyes inside. We're funneling. I'm sorry. We're getting hands on 1. We're going to get eyes on 2, but we're going to keep on sinking until we see either a route that brings us up or the quarterback triggering and throwing the football to the flat. We do not want to just A running back swings in cover 2. I jump him 3 yards in the backfield, and there goes number 1 running down the line, down the sideline wide open. No, no, no. We never want to do that. Okay? All right? And guys, just so you guys know, how I teach my quarterbacks is I say, I go, hey, listen, guys, the better defense we play, the more checkdowns you're going to throw. Does that make sense? That's why I tell my quarterback, hey, listen, guys, we're going against a really good defense. Okay? You're probably going to throw some checkdowns. Okay, just understand they're going to cover some things. All right, so don't panic when something gets covered. Okay, just go through your progression and get yourself to your outlet. Right? And usually the better teams we play, the more checkdowns they force us to throw. That's why you see it so much at the NFL level, because they're so good in the secondary that they're throwing checkdowns because everything else is covered. Okay? All right, here we go. Buzz. Very, very simple. If you guys ever seen La Habra play, not so much anymore, but back in the day, La Habra, that's what they ran a ton of, right? Lots of buzz coverage. So they're going to take the outside linebackers. If 2 goes vertical, they're going to rebound them. But what their job is to buzz onto the flat underneath number 1 and to give help to the corner. The corner's going to stay deep in his corner. So buzz coverage is the coverage where the corner will play off and inside number 1. The corner's job is to stay inside. Don't allow anything deep. Don't allow a post. The corner's eyes should be on the quarterback, the outside. So any double move should not affect the corner because the corner's eyes are on the QB. He won't even see it. He does not need to worry about number 1 running a hitch, number 1 running a comeback. That's the job of the outside linebacker buzzing underneath him. Okay? Outside linebacker, just inside number 2, at the snap of the ball, he'll reroute 2 on his way to the flat. If 2 goes vertical, he'll get him. If 2 goes in or out, he won't. If he goes out, obviously he's got it. If he goes in, he passes it off himself to number 1. The safety will read the release of 2. If 2 releases inside, his eyes will follow, okay, until he passes the mic. Why do I have the safety's eyes follow until he passes underneath the mic? Well, the reason why is because of climb routes. I don't know if you guys have faced anyone that runs an air raid system of the Y cross look. You ever seen that, the Y cross play? Well, the Y cross play is under Sam, over Mike. So if you have your safety get his eyes off the slot receiver once he goes inside, and he's looking out there, and then the guy runs a climb route and pushes vertical down the middle of your field because he sees 2 high safeties, you're not going to have anyone on him. And to ask your Mike Backer, who's probably your main run stopping guy to go wrong with that, unless you got an amazing Mike Backer Tampa 2-tag guy, he's going to be in a foot race with the guy he's probably going to lose to because that guy's a slot receiver who's quick as nails. You guys know what I'm saying? Okay, so we got to make sure that we watch the number 2 receiver until he crosses under the mic, then I can zone off. You get what I'm saying? So if I just go set, go, safety, set, go, he goes in right now, immediately open up to 1, or I get my eyes off him, and he goes climb route on my mic, it's going to be wide open. So now I'm going to set, go, I see 2 going, I'm going to go ahead and look and make sure, okay, underneath the mic, now I can zone off, either get to 1 if that's what you want to do, or get your eyes back to the quarterback and help out. Okay, in my opinion, you need to make sure you see number 2 and make sure he went shallow, right? Make sure he went shallow cross before you get your eyes off him. Because if you don't, and he runs that climb route, you're in a bad spot, in my opinion, okay? All right. Cleo. Now I'm starting to get into the 3x1s, guys. Now we're getting, those are all kind of 2 receivers, detached you can do. Now I'm going to start getting the 3x1, okay? And we're going to spend some time with this, okay? Cleo or mini coverage is the coverage where 1 corner will play man. So in this diagram right here, I'm taking the number 1 receiver to the field, to the 3 receiver side. Number 1 receiver to the 3 receiver side, he is in man, okay? All right? Everyone else is playing cover 2. All right? Now, I don't suggest you do this with a typical Sam backer. You know, usually when you play mini coverage, you're going to do it out of sub personnel, so you're going to have a nickel in there. In other words, another DB. All right? But I just want to show you the structure of it. It is part of the cover 8 toolbox that we can do. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to play to 1, he's gone, so the 2 and 3, we're going to play a triangle coverage. Okay, so now we're basically playing cover 2, or cloud coverage, between the Mike, Sam, and strong safety 2 and 3. 1's not even there, he's gone. Okay, so our eyes are going to be on number 3. Everyone's eyes, this triangle, their entire eyes are on number 3. 3 goes out. Sam owns him. Safety gets over top of 1. In other words, if you want to think about it like this, it's kind of like a palms look inside. Does that make sense? It's a palms look inside. We're going to play this triangle palms look reading off of 3. Okay? 3 goes vertical, strong safety owes him. The Sam is going to be a 3-2 read. If 3 goes vertical, he's got to carry 2. That's why I think you should make a substitution, because if you run 4 verticals, okay, the guy that's in a bad spot is going to be the Sam backer. Okay? He's going to have to carry that thing all the way up. Okay? That's a difficult thing to do. You can also do this, guys. It's more of a cover 3 variation. It's what Bishop Gorman does. We play them is they will roll it, and what they'll do is they'll commit the Mike and the Will backside with the corner. The Sam tucks inside and plays the Mike position. That is actually the strong safety. That is the free, right? And they slide this thing over weak, so that becomes the corner and the Will and the Mike are underneath. So you can do it out of a 1 high look as well, but it's basically the same thing. You're playing man on 1, and you're going to play cover 2 technique inside the 3 and 2, and you still have 3 on 2 in the backside. Okay? All right, everyone see this. So it's typical cloud coverage here to the boundary. Okay, so if running back goes out, corner has the flat, Will has the curl, safety's in a half there. So this side of the field, we're playing a palms mini coverage to 3 and 2, reading 3. Any questions on that? Yeah, please, guys, ask. If you have a question, yes, sir.
You get like a wheel route from 2 and 3 runs and just an out route.
That beats it.
Okay.
Yep. Again, that's why my whole entire talk today is what? Don't run the same thing every single play. So he asked the question, does 2 and 3 both running in hurt you? Does 2 and 3 both running out hurt you? Answer is yes. Okay? Answer is yes. Okay, so 3 and 2 both running. So you're talking about stick, right? You're talking about stick. So he clears out, he runs a quick out, he runs an out cut, right? 6 yards, a stick route. Yes, hurts it. Okay, just like if they ran double slant, it would hurt it. Because the Sam's on the wrong side of the outside slant. Right? The Mike's going to take the inside slant, and you've run number 2 in a little 5-yard China, boom, it's going to be a soft spot in the zone right there.
Are you trying to be aggressive with the Sam there to funnel to the strong safety?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would not do this out of a 4-3 look. I'd only do this out of sub personnel. Okay, I'll give you guys a great example. Okay, so here's how you would marry this up with something else. Okay, who remembers the Rose Bowl, Sam Darnold's last year, USC versus Ohio State? You remember that one? Okay, when Sam threw a pick 6 early, you guys remember that? Okay, so what Ohio State was showing is they were showing a Cleo look, a mini coverage. So Sam Darnold was in the shotgun 3-by-1, okay, and he was RPOing the Mike. They showed mini, okay? Right for the snap of the ball means the Mike's the conflict player. You guys follow me if you don't like RPOs? Snap of the ball, the strong safety rolled down and the free rolled back and they went 1 high. So Sam sees the Mike backer, okay, insert into his gap on the zone read game. They lock the backside end. Sam pulls the football throw, they ran stick. Goes to throw the ball and run stick, and this guy goes, thank you very much, pick 6, and they rolled the 3. And they were sound. It wasn't like it was an unsound play that they got lucky on. No, they baited them in throwing the RPO. They spun down to a cover 3-1 high look, and the strong spun right on top of the stick route at pick 6. You can look it up on YouTube right now if you want. Okay, it's exactly what happened. Sam didn't see it. So as I'm trying to get you guys to see, if you start with cover 8, in my opinion, and then you can disguise it and get yourself into other things, I think it makes it really difficult for offenses. Okay? All right? Okay. And if you guys look at this type of deal, you know, as far as numbers go, you're always in a +1 advantage, right? So right here, single receiver side, they have 2 possible receivers, the back and the X. I have 3. Over here, I got 3 guys. I got 4. They got 4, right? So we're always in a +1 advantage. Okay, now, stress coverage. Okay, stress coverage is when you're not going to play mini. Okay, but you still want to double team the boundary because they got a dude over here. This guy is Brew McCoy. He's a 5-star going to USC then Texas. So stress coverage is a coverage. Some guys got that one. Stress coverage is a coverage where one corner and the safety on the single receiver side will double the single receiver. Okay, all right, they're going to double the single receiver. You can also play cloud here. You can either double it, something Harry Welch used to do at Santa Margarita. That's his big thing. He's just going to double your X. He was really good with the safety in the corner. They're going to play outside, inside. Okay, and then the will backer has the running back. Obviously, if you've got some type of post wheel, okay, you got post wheel by the back, that corner is going to pass off the post to the safety, and you can help out on the wheel with the will there on the wheel. Okay, little tongue twister. All right, to the field, you have some issues. You got 4 versus 3. So what you would play to the field is a stress look, which is basically cover 3. Okay, so stress means you have to play 3 possible verticals with 2 defenders. Okay, well, isn't that the same thing in cover 3 if you're playing 3-1, right? Same thing, right? So it's cover 3 principles from the corner and the strong safety. It's cover 3 principles from the Mike and the Sam. You guys got what I'm saying? Okay, so the Sam backer's in a 2-1. He's a curl flat player. The Mike's going to go 3 to 2-1. He's a hook to curl player. Okay, any questions on that? Very just like you would teach that type of cover 3 look. Yeah? Okay, all right, and you're playing stress. All right, so the safety and corner will both play a stress quarter with vision on the quarterback. They'll both lean on the receiver to the inside of them, so which means the safety's going to lean. He's going to be out. He's going to lean on 3. He's going to lean on 2. The Sam is a 2-1 reader, curl flat player. Just like you play cover 3, the Mike's going to take first cross unless it's a push call from the will. And that would be if they're in a 4+. So if they're in a 4+, now the Mike wouldn't take the first crosser. The will would make the push call because he has the running back. So Mike would let the first crosser go. He would drop hook to curl and take second crosser for matching down. So he'd be a 3 to 2-1. Any questions on that?
About 8 minutes, Coach.
8 minutes in the first session? Okay. Okay. Slug coverage. All right. Slug coverage is the coverage played against 2 back to the single receiver side. All right. So you have two running backs. Doesn't matter what's going on over here. We have different options over here. But we're talking about the single receiver side. Okay. And that's what we're going to double. The safety in the corner are going to double. Generally, you're going to play this in press man. If the safety gets dropped back pass, the safety will double the X. If he gets play action though, and the will backer is sucked up on play action, that safety's going to come down and play any type of flat route, and you're just going to go with the corner there in man-to-man. Okay? Now, on drop back pass, the will backer will have first back out to his side towards the 2 receiver side. The formation, the coverage will depend on detached, attached receivers, running back set, and any of the 2 receiver coverage can be run. So you can run with the running back offset, you can run the Bronco or Bravo coverage. You can just run read, you can run 4 nail. You can even run mini where he's outside, he's pressed. Whatever you want to do to that side with your 2 receiver rules, you could do. But to the boundary, slug coverage means that safety is going to come up. So in the run game, let's talk about run game. Most of the time I talk about pass game right now. Run game is more the second one. We're going to go back through and talk about run game. But in the pass game, in the run game, if you got ISO, okay, right? As soon as they insert a fullback into the blocking scheme, it adds a gap. We all understand that, right? Okay, so right now there's 6 gaps: 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's. As soon as the fullback inserts himself and run, into one side of the center, it creates an extra gap on that side of the football, right? Okay, so now you're at a -1 defensively. Okay, you got what I'm saying? Okay, because now there's a gap you can't. There's a gap you haven't canceled. That's where the safety comes down and slug. You guys got what I'm saying? So right now you have 6 defenders, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. There's 6 gaps. We're good. As soon as the fullback inserts himself, it adds a 7th gap. Now there's 7 gaps to defend. You have 6 defenders. You're at a -1. So how are you going to make up that gap? Okay, well, the safety. Okay, so if you're running weak side ISO, weak side power, you're going to spill the football and get that safety to insert himself as a force player down to the box and add the 7th guy to the box to the side. You guys get what I'm saying? Now you're back to, I canceled every single gap. I'm even. Yeah? Okay. All right. And if you're ever a -1, then you better be, a lot of times, odd fronts will be a -1 because they're asking that nose guard to command both A's. Okay? All right? And even front, you probably, you can deuce it if you want to, but I don't suggest that. Trap coverage. Trap coverage is coverage played against single receiver side by the corner and safety. It's very similar to 3 cloud. The only difference is the corner will play inside of the receiver and be the force player in the defense. The safety will play over the top of number 1. The will backer has the curl just like he would in cloud. The corner will usually disguise his technique pre-snap. Obviously, if you're going to play trap, you want to try to run a line game to spill the football to your trap corner, right? So it'd be kind of silly to play trap and then have your defensive end, knowing the B gap. You know what I mean? The ball gets run inside, the corner sitting in the alley going, oh, what happened? Spill the football by pirating your front and get the ball to spill right to the corner who's playing trap, okay? Towards the two receiver side of the formation, the coverage will depend on detached or attached receivers, running back, offset, and split. Any of the two receiver coverages we've talked about so far, you can run, okay? All right, solo, or people call this four push. This is when you have a dominant corner, okay? So obviously, as an offensive coach, I'm gonna put my dominant receiver at the X. If you have a dominant corner that can wipe them out, then fine, go over and play solo coverage. In solo coverage, you can push 5 versus 3 to the field. So if you're game planning against the team and they barely ever throw it to the single receiver side, they're throwing it to the 3 receiver side all the time, solo them up, push 5 versus 3 to the field, okay? And you'll have, it should not be a route that wins. If you're in a +2 defensively in the pass game, you should never give up a completion. You get what I'm saying? You're +2. It shouldn't happen. Okay? So, to the boundary, this is the boundary side. I'll talk about the field side in a second. To the boundary side, you're going to play man, man. The free safety is going to be looking at 3. If 3 pushes vertical, he will come over the top and rob 3. So if they run 4 verts, okay, in solo coverage, the backside safety is going to collect number 3 as he works across the field to the opposite hash. Okay? If number 3 does not go vertical, he goes shallow cross, he goes into the flat, that backside safety will zone off and the quarterback will take him to his help. So if the quarterback's staring down number 1, the backside safety can help on 1. The quarterback staring to the 3 receiver side, he can look to help something. You know, 3 goes out, 2 or 1's coming in, he can look to help clean that up. Okay? All right, as far as the run game is concerned, we do have the safety being the force player to the single receiver side. That's why we generally play them in the front side, A-gap, pre-snap as far as his alignment goes. Okay? Steam coverage. All right, this is a coverage you can play to either a tight end wing set, or you can play it to slot, the dead T side. Okay? The safety and corner will invert. Now the safety comes up and plays like the cloud, if you will. Yeah, you follow me so far? And the corner is going to be the secondary run support and play more of the half. All right, so they're just going to switch responsibilities. Again, why would you do that? Well, if you have a corner that's not as physical as your strong safety, and you're worried about him taking on run blocks, either from a pulling tackle on horn sweep, or power, or something, you know, a fullback on toss, then you definitely want to run sting. You want to switch it, invert your strong safety down so that your better run fit player is the primary run support and your weaker run fit player is the secondary run support. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you got lined up in wing and they're running horn sweep or stretch at you, you wouldn't want your little 5'8", 165-pound corner taking on, you know, horn sweep, okay, or toss sweep or outside zone or stretch or whatever they're running. You want some guy who can set the edge, spill that football back inside, or box it, I should say, box that football back inside, near arm it, and now your pursuit, the rest of the defense can get there, and your corner plays more of a cleanup, and his secondary support more of what's called a fan player, fit as needed. He'll fit as the holes open and close them down, yeah? Okay? Okay, now,
Left hand, coach.
that's it. Okay, so we'll stop for a minute. I'm just going to keep on going the second session and finish this. In the third session, I'll talk about that nose guard to command both A's. Okay? All right? And even in front, you probably, you know, you can deuce it if you want to, but I don't suggest that. Trap coverage. Trap coverage is coverage played against single receiver side by the corner and safety. It's very similar to 3 cloud. The only difference is the corner will play inside of the receiver and be the force player in the defense. The safety will play over the top of number 1. The will backer has the curl just like he would in cloud. The corner will usually disguise this in pre-snap. Obviously, if you're going to play trap, you want to try to run a line game to spill the football to your trap corner, right? So it'd be kind of silly to play trap and then have your defensive end, you know, knowing the B gap. You know what I mean? The ball gets run inside, the corner sitting in the alley going, oh, what happened? Spill the football by pirating your front and get the ball to spill right to the corner who's playing trap, okay? Towards the 2 receiver side of the formation, the coverage will depend on detached or attached receivers, running back, offset, and split. Any of the 2 receiver coverages we've talked about so far, you can run. Okay? All right. Solo, or people call this 4 push. This is when you have a dominant corner. Okay, so obviously, as an offensive coach, I'm going to put my dominant receiver at the X. If you have a dominant corner that can wipe them out, then fine. Go over and play solo coverage. In solo coverage, you can push 5 versus 3 to the field. So if you're game planning against the team and they barely ever throw it to the single receiver side, they're throwing it to the 3 receiver side all the time, solo them up, push 5 versus 3 to the field, okay? And you'll have, it should not be a route that wins. If you're in a +2 defensively in the pass game, you should never give up a completion. You get what I'm saying? You're +2, it shouldn't happen, okay? So, to the boundary, this is the boundary side, I'll talk about the field side in a second. To the boundary side, you're gonna play man. The free safety, he's gonna be looking at 3. If 3 pushes vertical, he will come over the top and rob 3. So if they run 4 verts, okay, in solo coverage, the backside safety is going to collect number 3 as he works across the field to the opposite hash, okay? If number 3 does not go vertical, he goes shallow cross, he goes into the flat, that backside safety will zone off, and the quarterback will take him to his help. So if the quarterback's staring down number 1, the backside safety can help on 1. Quarterback staring to the 3 receiver side, he can look to help something. You know, 3 goes out, 2 or 1's coming in, he can look to help clean that up. Okay? All right. As far as the run game is concerned, we do have the safety being the force player to the single receiver side. That's why we generally play him in the front side, A gap, pre-snap as far as his alignment goes. Okay? Steam coverage. All right. This is a coverage you can play to either a tight end wing set, or you can play it to slot, the dead T side, okay? The safety and corner will invert. Now the safety comes up and plays like the cloud, if you will. Yeah, you follow me so far? And the corner is going to be the secondary run support and play more of the half. All right, so they're just going to switch responsibilities. Again, why would you do that? Well, if you have a corner that's not as physical as your strong safety, and you're worried about him taking on run blocks, either from a pulling tackle on horn sweep, or power, or something, you know, a fullback on toss, then you definitely want to run sting. You want to switch it, invert your strong safety down so that your better run fit player is the primary run support, and your weaker run fit player is the secondary run support. Does that make sense? Okay, so if you got lined up in wing and they're running horn sweep or stretch at you, you wouldn't want your little 5'8", 165-pound corner taking on, you know, horn sweep, okay, or toss sweep, or outside zone, or stretch, or whatever they're running. You want some guy who can set the edge, spill that football back inside, or box it, I should say, box that football back inside, near arm it, and now your pursuit, the rest of the defense can get there, and your corner plays more of a cleanup, and his secondary support more of what's called a fan player, fit as needed. He'll fit as the holes open and close them down, yeah? Okay? Okay, now, that's it. Okay, so we'll stop for a minute. I'm just going to keep on going the second session and finish this. And the third session I'll talk about match the conversation here. The first session we talked about just basic lining up the different formations. So I'm going to go a real quick review, and then we'll get right into where we left off. So I'm talking about cover 8. Cover 8 is a quarters coverage that will check different coverages based on how many backs are in the backfield, and the receivers, if they're split or detached or attached, I should say, whether or not their splits are big or small, and then also how many receivers there are, 1, 2, or 3. So think about, is there 2 backs or is there 1 back? Is there 3 backs? Is there 1 receiver, 2 receivers, 3 receivers? Are any of those receivers attached? Does that make sense? Whether they're a tight end or a wing, or are they all detached like a spread offense? Okay, so the last coverage we left off on was here, the steam coverage, where we're basically playing inverted 2 to either a 2 tight end wing set or a 1 tight end fullback set, like the slot formation in pro style offense. Maybe you would call it twins in the pro style. I've heard it called that too. Okay, all right, now so moving on, joker coverage. All right, joker coverage is a coverage you would run in a single back offense. So there's 1 back, 3 receivers away from you. Okay, and a dead tight end side, so the tight end is attached. Why would you run Joker? You're going to run Joker coverage because, again, your corner is a 5'8", 165-pound cover guy, and you're a little bit worried at the possibility of a run game coming to him. All right, and you wanted something a little bit more physical in the box. All right, and what I mean by that is, if you're going to play your end in an inside, 7 technique, or some people call it 6-eye, whatever, and you're trying to obviously close the C gap down to DN, the ball's going to spill right to him. If you're playing more of a 9 technique, outside leverage to the tight end, and now if they run single back power, okay, now that guard's going to be pulling to him. Okay, so you might want some more lead in your either your C or your D to the single receiver side, to the dead tight end side. So we play Joker there. All that means is the strong technique in the corner are going to switch spots. The strong technique is going to come and play solo. He's going to watch the tight end. The tight end blocks. He's going to fit himself into the gap according to the front that you have. If you have a wide front or a jet front where the end's outside, he would fit himself into the C gap. If you had more of an over or G front where the end's in the 7 technique, he would fit himself into the D, right into the out. Okay? All right, any questions on that so far? The corner would be the 4 push man. What I mean by that is this. The corner would line up, okay, over the ball. If there was a pass play, drop back pass, the corner is going to go to 3. If number 3 pushes vertical, he's going to let him come to him, but he would eventually rob 3 if they ran 4 verts. The strong safety would have a tight end man-to-man on the vert, and then your your inside backer would have the running back, just like you would in normal solo coverage we covered earlier. Does that make sense? So really it's solo coverage, except the corner and the safety just switch spots for run game purposes, yeah? If you don't want to do that, and you're like, hey dude, my corner and my safety are about the same size, they're both 5'8", they're both 170 pounds, they both tackle about the same, then don't do it. Okay, then don't. When I was at Bosco, and even at Mission, we have guys that play corner and guys that play safety, and a lot of times their bodies are much different. Okay, but if you don't have that situation, basically it's the same athlete, then don't even mess with this. Just play solo and teach it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do the second hour is we're going to talk about run game. In the first hour, we're talking about pass game. In the third hour, I'm going to talk about matching the pass game with underneath coverage. Okay, really the first one I want to talk is kind of lining up. So it's going to be run game emphasis. Okay, how to play the cover 8 principles against the run game. So the first thing you'll see, guys, is I'm going to start with power formations and then start moving people away and move the spread. You guys got that? So obviously 2 tight ends attached, 3 backs in the backfield. What are you going to do in this? Okay, well it's easy. Your principles are, okay, well, I have basically a double sting look, right? I got a sting look to one side. Now, my Sam backer doesn't know what sting is, okay, but he knows what Bravo is, right? Remember that? Remember Bravo? He's outside number 2, looking into number 3 from the backfield, so he knows that technique. That technique is also, he's playing force. So if you're playing old school Tustin offense, not anymore, okay, you had Myron Miller there, and you're facing David motion this. Basically, you're getting this run game at you, okay, with 3 backs in the backfield. You're gonna play, okay, double sting, or if you want to call it Bronco or Bravo sting, with your corners and your safety is gonna be free. So he's gonna be obviously alley to alley, and you have your front, and we always keyed off of the wing and what he did, but you're at least sound gap-wise. So let's go over the gaps. Okay, so we're playing over defense right now. So obviously Mike has A, Nose has A, Tackle has B, Will has B, defensive ends have C, and then you have your safety, your Sam backer and your safety have D of the alley, they're force players. Your corner are fan players. We understand that when the fullbacks enter themselves into the run game, they're adding gaps, and that's where your free safety is going to go. Okay, your free safety obviously is going to add as the fullbacks add. Okay, any questions on that in the run game? Okay, And then again, as far as block protection goes, we can get into a little bit of that. So defensive line-wise and block protection, we want to make sure that if we see any type of base block, we're getting extension and squeezing. If we see pull collision, we want to make sure we're water skiing that or trying to cross face. Some guys will teach you an ice pick, you can, but we want to try to make sure when we get pull collision, my gap just moved. Does that make sense? So if I'm a 3 technique, I get a down block by the tackle and the guard pulls, now I'm in the A gap. And now I'm supposed to be in the B gap. So I have to now water ski it, cross face it, and get my butt where I'm supposed to be. Okay? And then as far as the linebackers go, okay, we're reading clear and cloudy windows. So we're scraping, in other words, full flow or split flow. We have responsibilities. It's full flow. We are scraping and we're looking for clear and cloudy. If we see a clear window, we are fitting in it right now. If we see cloudy, we're going to keep on scraping. Okay? All right, any questions on that? If you're facing a wing T team, you definitely want to read guards. Okay? You definitely want to read if you have a big time misdirection run game. Okay? All right, now, cover 8 versus 2 back, formations with 1 receiver split out. Okay, so now all we did was took one of those fullbacks and we split him out at receiver. So now we're going to play Bronco to that side. Sam backer is up. Obviously, the safety's going to, and the Mike are going to work a triangle coverage with the running back out. So the running back comes out, Sam takes it. Tight end goes vertical, Strong has it. If Mike sees the running back go out, he's going to make a push call to the Sam, and then Mike will then drop to final 3. So 3's in the backfield right now. 1 and 2. 3's in the backfield. 3 goes out. Now that becomes 2. So if they go, corner, in, flat, Mike would take the in route. Safety would have the corner. Sam would have the running back. And we'll go over more of the coverages in the 3rd session with the match down. Okay, but I just want to show you how we would line up to different formations. So that would be really easy. On the dead T side, we'd be stinging it. Okay, so the safety would insert and be the force play, the corner off. Again, if there's not a big difference between the corner and safety as far as an athletic standpoint, then don't do it. Just play the corner up in the force player and play safety as a fan player. You know what I'm saying? You only invert people if you have to, because the guys can't handle the run fit. All right. Okay, now 2 back. All right. Dead T slot formation. You may call this twins. And this formation, all right, to the 2 receiver side that's detached, you have your whole toolbox. Again, you don't want to run the exact same thing every single time. You have multiple adjustments. Okay, so maybe you want to run that as palms. If they have a big split, maybe you're going to check to read. Okay, maybe you're going to run nail, whatever. But the biggest thing that I want to tell you guys is this. If you have 2 receivers detached, the coverage that's being played on that side of the field is completely different than the other side of the field. So all we care about is this. We have 2 receivers. Okay? We have 2 receivers. What are we going to play? They're both detached. Are we going to play palms, nail, bravo, read? If the fullback is offset and we have a threat right now to the flat, maybe we move him outside to a bravo look so we can see into the running back. So the running back does come out and give us a trips look right now where we got eyes on him. Mike makes a push call, drops to the slot, and then the Sam backer now would have the running back, or the will backer in the switch situation, have the running back in the flat. Again, as far as gaps are concerned, look at your gap sound. A, B, C, B, A, C, alley, fan player, secondary run support player. Okay, you have an add-on guy here. Okay, if that guy gets blocked, the safety will fit. The safety will fit off the will as needed. So if the will collapses to weak side ISO, okay, weak side meaning away from the tight end to the strength formation, but to the bubble, I should say. You have ISO to the bubble, the will is going to immediately fit. If it gets blocked in, the safety's going to fit off the will's block of the slot as the play might get spilled. Does that make sense?
Offset, coach, and you're putting a bravo out there?
Yes.
You have a free safety fill or what?
No. So
Same play.
yes, exactly. Okay, great question. If the running back's offset and you got ISO, okay, that's why there's Bronco and there's Bravo. Okay, if you're worried about weak side ISO, Okay, one coverage. So if you're playing Bravo, the will backer is going to zone it, and you could get drilled to play action. Okay, if you're not going to do that, you want a guy to insert right now, you'd play Bronco, and that will backer be responsible for playing outside leverage man on number 2. So if they do get play action, you have someone carrying it as a safety inserts.
I'm just wondering how you fill it.
No, exactly right. So no, Coach, you're 100% correct. If you're playing outside leverage there with the running back offset, if you're worried about that, 100%, this guy has to insert, and now this guy's playing the pass first. So I was talking to a guy earlier, and they were saying, Coach, how do you do that? I said, well, listen, here's the deal. Your primary run support player, okay, has to play run first. Your secondary run support player has to play pass first.
So if you're playing the free safety as the fill guy,
Yes.
you're locking up the will on number 2, or?
Yes, and then if it gets past, the free will double with him. Okay, just like slug.
I mean, play action might have a little.
Kill it.
problem, but I got it.
Exactly. Play action, you're killed. And that's what I'm saying. Again, if you don't like it in this coverage, then get out of cover 8. Go to cover 3 look. Okay? All right? And basically, guys, what I'm saying to you is this. If you want to think about it like this is kind of what made sense to me. In any 2-back formation, cover 8 is a 4-4 look with the safety cheated over to the 2 receiver side. Take it really easy. Get what I'm saying? In any 2-back formation, cover 8 is a 4-4 cover 3 with the safety cheated over to the 2 receiver side. You guys follow me so far? So watch. Look at this. 2-back, right? What if this guy was in the middle of the field? What coverage what would it be? A 4-4. Cover 3, right? All we're doing is we're taking the safety and we're cheating him over to the 2 receiver side in a 2-back situation. Everything else, the 4-4 principles are exactly the same. Are they not? Right? So it would be the same thing in a 4-4, right? So if you're running a 4-4, okay, and you had your force play over number 2, okay, and your free safety's in the middle of the field, how are you going to stop weak side ISO? Right? Okay, you gotta do some things, right? Maybe you take your 3 and you play under defense. Right? Maybe you put under to this, where you put your 3 tech to that side, the bubble's now to the other side. Okay? Maybe you're pirating your end and getting things to spill. Okay? You're not going to sit there and just get piped by, in such a bubble to the formation and just get piped by ISO. You're going to do some things. Maybe you're going to spin down and do some other things, and try to stop this by, all bear it. I mean, that's another thing you can do, right? You jump your butt into a bear. Okay, take your nose, put them on a 0, right? Take your end and pirate them down, lock your backer up and play man free. And get yourself into a bear front. Yeah, but theoretically, okay, we would not start with the Bravo look. Okay, we would start in palms, nail, or read so we can insert. What I'm saying is this: if we're having issues, okay, with 3 into the flat right now, and my will backer is inside of number 2, and as he's walling number 2, the running back, the fullback is going into the flat from an offset position right now. We're late to it. One of the things we could do to adjust to it is to go to a Bronco or a Bravo. Does that make sense? Okay, we would not start off like that. We would stay inside leverage number 2 so we could add to the fit on ISO to the bubble. All right? Any questions there? Good question. Okay, next. Cover 8 versus 2-back formations. Now we're just pro. Okay, again, we have a single receiver detached. You have some weapons here. You can go slug, cloud, or trap. You can play cloud to the backside, corner is force. You can trap them. Okay, pirate the defensive end and play trap. You can also play slug. Remember, slug is we're doubling X. Will backer has back out. Okay, if it's play action, the safety gets sucked up. Now the safety will play back out because your will's out of the pass. Okay, it's in the run fit. Okay, to this side you can play your Bronco or Bravo coverage. Okay, or you can also play your read coverage. Again, with the push call from the Mike with fullback out in the flat or running back out in the flat with the push call from 3. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, cover 8 versus 2-back formations. Okay, versus 2-back formations. All right, with 2 receivers detached to one side, and then to the single receiver side, exactly the same coverages: slug, cloud, or trap. Whatever you want it to do, you have your toolbox. Okay, it's the same exact deal for you. You don't care. Over here, palms, nail, Bravo, and read. Again, the same discussion that we have. Okay, is what if we're getting run game to our palm side, and we have our safety outside, okay, that's an issue. Our Sam outside, safety has to insert. We could get hit with play action, no doubt. Okay, we could get hit by play action. That's why, again, I think the 4-2-5 answer is a little bit better than the 4-3 because you have a nickel there that's going to be a better matchup on the slot versus a type of a play action post. Okay, and you want to play outside leverage because if you do get drop back pass, the safety's inside. You're forcing your double right now. Does that make sense? He's going right into it. All right. Okay, cover 8 versus 1 back. Okay, cover 8 versus 1 back. So now, okay, you have everything available to you. To the running back offset, you may want to put him outside if you're getting like 3-man snag. I know Mazzoni was here talking earlier about 3-man snag. Okay, well that's taken away real quick if you play Bronco or Bravo and you take the back on the swing, the Mike takes the snag, and you double the 7 cut. That 3-man snag game is done. Okay, and then to the backside, Mazzoni will run a grab route with a dig behind it. Okay, well if you're playing, we'll talk about Wong later, but if you're playing just normal read or palms coverage, the outside linebacker takes the grab route, and your safety now is doubling 1 coming on a dig. You should stuff it. Okay, you should absolutely stuff it. All right. Any questions on that? Okay, now let's say it's 2x2 and we attach the tight end. Okay, so to the 2 receiver side, detached. Again, the entire toolbox of all the 2x2s we did, detached. To the attached side, we can play read. Outside linebacker responsible for the flat. If it was a tight split, okay, into the boundary, you could play palms there. Okay? Normally, we don't want to play palms to an attached receivers because normally the split's very big. But if it's a condensed split into the boundary on the high school hash, palms it, easy. Okay, now the safety doesn't have very far to go. If 2 goes into the flat, he can go over top of 1 right now. Okay, not very difficult at all. Okay, all right, now let's go back. Okay, and talk about the run game here and spread offense. A lot of people are going to say, okay, coach, well, here's the issue. Yeah, I see you guys are sound in the pass game, but how are you going to stop the run game in a 4-1 box versus all these single back formations? You're always -1. There's always 6 gaps. And you only have 5 to defend it. You were right. Okay, so we have issues. All defenses have issues. Okay, if you're going to try to play split safety defense, not give up RPOs, bubbles, and stick routes to inside receivers, how am I going to play all of it? It's difficult. It's not easy. That's why Corona Centennial scores 60 points on almost everybody. Okay, but here would be one of my answers in cover 8. Read the quarterback. Now, if the running back's offset, it's pretty easy, but if they're in pistol, it gets hard. That's why Centennial puts the guy in pistol. They don't want to give away which side pre-snap they're reading. Okay? All right, that's why he's in pistol. Now, we talk about whether or not the quarterback gave you his chest or his back. Okay? So if the quarterback takes a snap, okay, so right now, if you're the outside backer coach, now the guy's in pistol, set, go, what'd you get?
Back.
Okay? Set, go, what'd you get? Chest. Okay? But depending on what you get, your outside linebackers will fit differently. Okay? If I turn like this, who am I RPOing? Am I RPOing you or that backer? That backer. I'm not going to be able to run inside zone RPO with the mesh and read the backside linebacker. Now, if I'm flat and I'm doing a power read, yes, maybe. Okay? But if I've got back, then what I'm saying is that backer is playing pass first, he's playing the RPO, and the opposite backer who got back is going to fit the gap that you're missing. Does that make sense? Okay, you're going to add that guy to the box. He's going to play run, that guy's going to play pass. Okay? All right, I shouldn't say pass, the RPO, whether it's a bubble or a hitch or a quick out or a double slant, whatever RPO that you're going against. Okay? If the running back's offset pre-snap, then it's easy. Right? You now know that guy's going to be the guy being read and that guy's going to be the guy that's not. Okay, now there are some teams out there that will run kind of this outside zone mesh try to read you, and if you do that, you might have to understand what the quarterback's looking at and look at more of his eyes, but generally, RPOs are done off of inside run game, right? Where the run game is downhill or it's belly, inside zone, and it's going to be here or it's going to be here. You're going to get chest or back. So in this situation, with the running back offset this direction, right? It's nice because we're already in this Broncos, so we're already playing pass first. We're already taking away, bubble game. All right, we know that we're going to play the RPO on this side first, and on this side, we're going to go and let the Will backer fit because we're not worried about the RPO as much on this side. That's why a lot of teams, like this picture, I set their 3 technique to the running back. That's another trick. Okay, is to set your 3 technique to the back offset. Okay, because now you leave your bubble away from the running back offset, right? Where the Will backer now on that side can fit the B gap from that position. If it's pass, he can still play pass from there. Now, I wouldn't have him play read. I wouldn't have him responsible for the flat. He can play palms from there, right? He can play palms. He can play, I wouldn't have set, go. He runs a quick out and it's actually drop back pass. And this guy's got to try, palms is really nice there. Quick out, corner has it. He can play the curl from there. But that's how you would do it, okay? When you're a gap short, okay? And you're only a gap short, guys. You're only a gap short in 2x2 and 3x1, okay? You have issues with the RPO and the mic where you can close the front, and I'll go over that. Hopefully, I'll get to it in a second. Yeah, I will. Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so 3x1 attached. 3x1 attached. Okay, depending on how good that guy is, depends on what you play. If he's really, really good, like go one-on-one solo, then again, what are things we can do? We can cloud him, right? Okay, we can slug him. We can double with the corner and the safety. Okay, we can double the X. What does that mean we have to play to the 3 receiver side? Stress. Okay, if we're going to double the X with the safety and corner, now we're worried about 3 verticals on two defenders, the corner and the safety. You guys got what I'm saying? So if we take the free safety and we say this dude's too good, we can't handle this guy by ourselves, and we're going to go ahead and double it. That means 3 verticals for 2 are going to put us in a stress coverage that side, or another way, cover 3 coverage. Okay, does that make sense? Where they're playing traditional lean on 3, lean on 2, cover 3. The safety is going to be the force player weak here out of quarters. It can be the force player weak, and now I have it drawn up here on the board. I have put up here a solo, which means the corner is able to handle the X by himself. He's going to play him in man-to-man. The free safety is going to push to 3 vertical on a pass play, run game. He's working to the single receiver side, and he's the force player to that side. If you got some type of speed option to that way, he has to be the force player. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions on that? Okay. End here would be traditionally in a 7 technique, taking away the C gap, spilling things to the safety and the fan player. Okay, up to the Sam, excuse me, and the safety who's a fan player. All right, any questions on that one? Okay, now let's go 3x1 detached. Okay, another difficult one. So now we have a situation where, again, you may want to flip your 3 technique to the boundary. Okay, taking away that B gap weak. I have it drawn as an over front. Okay, but if you're going to take your mic and play him outside, try to cheat on 3, take your 3, again, flip to the boundary, run under defense. Okay, so now your outside linebacker can play the A, the mic can play the B, okay, and then your boundary 3 can play the B as well, and you can do a lot better. Now, if you can play games with them, because you play over defense, okay, now all of a sudden you can close your front. You can push your mic out. You can take your will and flip them over to the 3 receiver side if you want, whatever you structurally want to do. But we just take our mic and flex them out more. And now to the boundary, you can play games. Okay, and that's the fun part of this defense, is you can give them a 4-1 box and then take it away at the snap. Okay, there's 2 ways you can take it away. By spitting somebody down, okay, or by closing your front, in other words, pirating your front and getting the ball to spill to a cloud or a trap corner. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're getting hit with inside run. You have a 4-1 box. You cheated your mic out because he's trying to play the stick route by 3, and you're getting piped, by inside zone or trap game or dart, let's say. Okay, so now you say, okay, fine, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my front and I'm going to pirate it. Okay, I'm going to close the fronts. Now the will has the A, tackle has B, end has C. Okay, Okay, nose is in the A, Fox is pirating into the B gap, and now my corner is going to play the alley, the C. Safety's over the top. So now I went from a 4-1 box, a 5-man box, to what? A 6-man box right now. Okay? Maybe I started off, okay, in too high, okay, and now at the snap of the ball, I'm going to spin him down, and he's going to play out. So we're going to play like an inverted cover 2 look. Okay, we're like that slug look. You get what I'm saying? We're going to slug it. So now the safety comes down and plays the B gap. Your Will's in the A, your Mike can play the RPO, and I take my safety and spun him down late. So I gave the offense a 4-1 box. The snap of the ball, I gave him a 4-2 box. Just like that. Okay? And spun him down late. Now the quarterback is trying to pull the football. There's really no one to go to because the Mike's taking the stick route away, right? And you spun down and canceled the open gap. You guys follow me so far on that one? Okay? All right? If you want to rotate to 1 high, as I said earlier, okay, something that USC got caught with when Darnold threw the pick 6 in the Rose Bowl. Show them this, okay? Obviously your backers will be tired of the box, and then spin down and roll your safety on down number 3, okay? Show them hey, the stick route's going to be there. Quarterback sees the RPO, Mike steps up, and now I spin down the strong safety and rock and roll the free back to the middle of the field. And you play traditional cover 3, or you can play lurk. You can play, what we call Boston, whatever the old Pete Carroll stuff, the Frisco and Boston stuff, and spin him down, as your hook to curl player over number 3, and rock and roll your free safety back to the middle field. Okay, you guys got that? Any questions on that? Okay. Now let's go 3 receivers detached with the dead T tight end. Again, you're playing joker because your strong safety, your corner, is not a good tackler. He's not a good run guy in the box. I don't like him taking on possibly single back power, possibly horn sweep, possibly outside zone. I just don't like him to the dead T side. I want to get him out of there. Okay, so 1 or 2 things. You can go corners over. Okay, that's what Mater Dei does. Okay, Mater Dei and anything like this, slot, any dead T formation, Mater Dei, corners over. The corner's going to come over here and line up right where the S is. Okay, boom, right there. Okay, that's what they're going to do. And then kick all their backers over. Or you can play joker, where the strong safety and corner are just going to switch. Does that make sense? They're just going to switch. So the strong safety comes up. He's now playing over the tight end. The corner's going to play 4 push, where he's looking for number 3 coming vertical. If he doesn't get anything coming vertical, eyes back to the quarterback. Could help out on the tight end on strong safety or not. Okay? Okay, what's going on? Yes?
Do you jam the tight end?
It's man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Are you talking about the D end?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The defensive end is playing on the inside shoulder of the tight end, yes.
Okay.
But as far as the strong safety is concerned, he is man-to-man, he's solo. He is man-to-man at tight end, and the Will backer is man-to-man on the running back. Okay? It's completely solo to that side. Okay? All right? And once again, guys, I want to emphasize, if you don't need to do it, then don't. Have the corner sit down the tight end and have your free just line up like normal. Okay? Okay. Get in some 2 tight end formations. Again, these are some of the formations that you may want to be checking out of cover 8. We do not like playing cover 8 to some of the 2 tight ends formations. So it can be a super pain in the butt. So here we go. 3-by-1, both tight ends attached. Okay, so we got 2 receivers. Okay, detached. We're playing palms here to the outside 2 and 3. Okay, we're playing joker here, which is basically solo to that side. Will has the right man-to-man. Tight end has the strong safety has tight end man-to-man, and the corner's playing, and the Mike are playing the 3. 3 goes vertical deep. Corner has them. Mike's going to reroute and drop the 3. He's a final 3 player. Okay, if tight end runs an intermediate route, shallow cross or out. Okay, Mike in the corner would zone off. Mike would work 3 to 2 to 1. Okay. Again, sound in the run game. Okay, you have every gap canceled. All right. Obviously, you're thinking, okay, coach, what about this over here? Okay, you're right. Okay, that's not, but you have 2 defenders for 1 blocker. So again, they're running outside zone. Ball comes into the alley. Sam's going to come first. He gets blocked. Free would fit off of him to cancel it. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Now let's go 3-by-1 by 1 and we have a wing set. Okay, we have a wing set again. You can play Cleo to this. Okay, so now that's that mini coverage. Okay, so you're gonna just play man here, okay, man here, and you're gonna play cover 2 everywhere else. If you look at it, just cover 2, your typical umbrella coverage everywhere else. Okay, all right. What could you do? Well, if you're getting some type of counter back out of this formation, they're running guard, wing, counter. So they're doubling down to the Mike. He's coming down. Okay, now all of a sudden they're kicking out our Fox. Okay, we're wrong arming it, it's spilling, but our H-back's coming and playing cleanup. We're blocking. Okay, now what you could do to that thing is, again, if you're clouding and trapping it, you got it. Okay, it's absolutely stuffed. Okay, now you're adding that guy to the gap. Okay, obviously your Mike backer, if he's reading guard pull, he's adding to the box, and you should be sound. Okay, and as far as the pass game goes, you have 3-on-2 to the boundary. So if they're trying to play any type of 3-on-2 game, you have 3-on-2 to the boundary, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on 3 to the field. Splits of defense means you're always in the +1 unless you want to play solo to the boundary. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, this is the really tough one. Okay, this is the one I don't really care for, playing cover 8 and 2 tight end formations. This is tough. Okay, and the reason why it's very difficult to handle what you're going to do away from the Sam. So, you know, and usually what you do is you break down, you know, is one tight end more of a pass catcher, is their tight end more of the blocker. Okay, you have to determine that. They run more to the right, to left in this formation. This is a tough one. Okay, and what I mean by that is this: you could possibly play double read and play, you know, your outside backers are sitting inside a 2, Mike over the ball, and they're responsible for tight ends in the flat. You could tilt it like I have, where you have reduced one end, Sam come up. We've seen it before where we reduced both and played a 6-1. Okay, I know that was an answer for a few defenses that we played against to go 6-1 quarters. That also could be an answer like, you know, I don't like it. I don't like playing double read or double Bronco. I don't like it. We're getting out of it, and we're playing one high defense. Okay, we're going to play cover 3. All right, we're not really concerned with 4 verticals with 2 attached tight ends. We feel like cover 3, the free safety can handle both seams. We're going to get out of this thing and play cover 3. All right, but that would be the answer, right? With the running back offset to one side, you'd want to be in some type of Bravo coverage over here because you could run it back in the flat. Okay, and then over here, read coverage where the will would have the tight end, you know, playing man-to-man. If the splits were tight, you could play it palms. Okay, but that would be a tough one. Okay, in my opinion, is 2 tight ends, 2 by 2 is a tough one to play a lot of quarters in, because I think you're a gap short. If you played the 6-1, you're okay, and pass, both safeties are going to be playing that like buzz technique where they're really hard on 2. Outside backers are both outside the C gaps, the D gaps, excuse me, they would play the flats, but then you have a Mike backer, right, for the A and the bubble. Does that make sense? Okay, for the A and the bubble. And that would be difficult. If I took my will and brought him up like the Sam. Okay, so obviously that would be really good for pass. I took my will and put him up with the Sam. Okay, well then now you're gap short inside. Mike would have that. Who has the B? No, you close the front 100%, close your front down, strap and pirate, do those things, but if they catch you and you're strapping and they're running some type of outside zone or buck sweep, you're in trouble. As your guys are strapping and pirating, they're pulling around and you got major issues. Okay? All right, so that would be a situation where, you know what, we're just going to check to 3 in this situation. We don't really like quarters here because what they do, we're going to check to 3. Other thing you could do too is you could just lock somebody up on the weaker of the 2 tight ends. Okay? You could play coverage everywhere else and play like that mini coverage. Say, listen, we're going to take the weaker of the 2 tight ends and we're just going to man him up with our outside linebacker so there's no conflict. He has him in man, then let our safety get to the fit. Does that make sense? Okay? Almost like in this situation, it would almost be like you were playing solo and he wasn't here. You guys get what I'm saying? Right? You're playing solo and he's not even here. So he has the back, he has the tight end, it's the weaker of the 2, and he has that receiver like he's not even there. Does that make sense? Okay, you could do that as well. Okay? All right? Okay, now, 2x2, 2 tight ends with the wing set. Okay, so they're giving you this slot wing look. Again, we're immediately sting, inverted. Okay, so we have our inverted force player there, corner is a fan player. Okay, you have your, again, whatever coverage you want to run to the 2 receiver detached side. It could be palms, could be read, could be a bunch of things. Okay, you have your whole toolbox that we already worked on from the previous session to run outside. Okay, whatever you want to run, and I suggest you have a couple different variations. Don't always be in palms, don't always be in read, don't always be in Bronco or Bravo. Change it up, don't always be in nail. You know, it's that's corners that, play press unless you've got a dude, a 5-star guy, you can just let, hey, we're gonna play nail all night long, press him, good night, all night. It's tough, okay, have that guy in press, that's a lot of stress on that corner, just keep on working on an island, it's tough. So maybe take your chance, okay, we're gonna run nail, maybe on early downs. These guys pass game on early downs, they try to steal hitches. They try to steal gifted yards, so they steal 5. So we're going to take that away of playing nail. You're not going to take a hitch on first down. You're going to throw the ball on first down. We're going to force you to throw a fade and be in 2nd and 10 if you don't complete it. Okay, these guys are just hitch guys. Okay, fine, we'll take it away. Okay, we're going to play cloud. We're going to play nail. We're not going to just throw hitches on first down and get a second medium. No way. Okay, and then maybe on 2nd down or whatever they change, their philosophy changes. They're not taking shots. 3rd down, they're taking shots. So why would I be in nail if they want to take shots? I'm going to play off, maybe in cloud, maybe in palms, something umbrella coverage, try to keep everything in front. Okay, so that's where the game planning comes in, and you can switch what you want to do in your cover 8 scheme. Okay? Okay, so what I want to talk about here really quickly, I have time. Can you guys all see this whiteboard or no? They said they were going to bring the thing, the projector. No.
We'll change that after this.
Okay, sounds good.
You want me to call them up, get something else?
I don't know if these guys can see, but
You want the doc for the next one?
that'd be awesome. Okay. Do you have anything to dry it off with or wipe off with? No? You guys can't see that at all, can you? Okay. All right. Do we have, while he's working on that, do we have any questions for me? Are there any questions on cover 8? At all? 0? Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Coverages are going to be just like a matchup zone in basketball. You have man principles in your zone. Okay, man principles in your zone. So you're never going to have an outside linebacker dropping and just covering grass. Okay, he is going to man drop, not spot drop. You guys got what I'm saying? Okay, and he's going to cancel routes as people run the routes. Now, there's positives and negatives about this. The positives is that you're not going to have a receiver just run a little option route, find grass it down, throw the ball to him because 2 backers spot drop. Okay? The downfall of it, okay, is this. If you don't work really hard at it and you're not good at your match down, you will leave people wide open. You know what I'm saying? Okay? You will leave people wide open. The other downfall of this, the other negative, is that for a moment, the linebackers, while they're trying to recognize and pattern read, they will have their back towards the quarterback. So if you're playing Michael Vick at quarterback and you're matching down with your Mike backer and your Mike backer is opening up and he's looking to number 3 and there goes the quarterback taking off, you're going to have issues. Okay, you're going to have issues. All right, so those are the things you need to think about. What can you do? Well, the first thing you're going to do is if you know you have a situation, either A, don't run match down, play man free, play a lot more man free, spy the quarterback. There's things you can do to it. You can also, if you're worried about it, on a pass down, you're worried about a quarterback scramble, is here comes all of your line games, right? You know, you're running your long sticks and your short sticks. I'm running my text, my exit, my nitros, all of those things to try and free people up to be able to cancel any type of quarterback draw. But that is a major, I mean, I'm an offensive guy at heart. That's a major issue. When I had Real Mitchell, we killed people with quarterback draws. People were matching down. There goes the Mike matching down. We had situations where we had pass draw options. So he'd go set, go. He would come back, look for the pass play. If it wasn't there, immediately went to a draw. Okay, immediately went to a draw, meaning if the Mike would sprint out and match, he immediately took off and ran the football because there's no one for that gap now. So you have to understand that there's weaknesses in everything that you do. So let me just go over this right now on the board. Okay. The will backer. Okay, when we're playing match down coverage, the will backer is responsible for the first crosser to his side. Okay, first crosser from his side. What does that mean? Okay, well, he has two possible receivers. He has the running back and he has the X. We all agree on that. Okay? If the X receiver runs a shallow cross, the will backer is going to match it and carry it. Okay? He's going to match it and wall it, and he is not going to pass it off. He's not going to go set, go, there's that cross. Hey, in, and drop to the curl. He immediately is going to open. Running back swings. He opens to one. He sees one running a shallow cross. He's immediately going to collision it. Man, drop. Okay, he's going to match it. He's going to match the receiver man to man and play him man to man for the rest of the play. Okay, everyone clear on that? The Mike linebacker on the other side is going to drop to the running back first. If the running back swings, the Mike backer is going to go to two. If two runs a shallow cross, he is going to match it. Okay, which means set, go, open to the running back. He swings. I see two. Two in the shallow cross. I am collisioning it. I am matching it, and I'm going to carry it. Okay. Now, mesh. How do you deal with mesh? Double mesh is very difficult in the match down coverage. You have to work it a ton. Okay, so we will do a ton of box drills. Okay, hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, so one of the basic drills that we will do, okay, is a box drill, which we take the tailback and two slot receivers. Say there's the H and there's the Y. Okay, and these guys are, we're going to say, hey, listen, one of these guys going shallow, both go shallow. We're going to play the box drill a ton. Okay, it's going to be 3 on 3. Okay, over and over and over again. And what do? Okay, well, we have cards. We have a bunch of different coverage cards. Okay, first one, running backs offset to the left of the defense. Mike backer knows he has first crosser. What's the will guy? Wall first crosser to his side. So set, go. I'm sorry, not the will of Sam. Set, go. The H comes, sees the crosser. Okay, he's immediately walling it. If Y comes, remember now, Mike's making a push call because he has first crosser, Will has second guy out. Crosses, Mike, white now, matches number 3, right now. Okay, so if you draw the rest of the picture, and that's not even in the drill, the X and the Z, okay, that's 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, excuse me, 1, 2, 3. He is immediately matching number 3. Running back with the swing, Will backer assigned to that. As the mesh happens, these backers, at first, they're going to screw it up terribly. These backers will sort it out and switch it off and carry the meshes through. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, that's the hardest one. You have to work on that a million times. Anything else is super easy. For example, let's say you get shallow cross, okay, shallow cross dig. Okay, so here we go. Right now, I don't have an eraser, guys, getting it? So I go flat, shallow cross, basic. That's one of the most popular plays out there. Flat by the back, shallow cross, dig. Okay, let's match it up. Set, go. Mike sees back in the flat, makes a push call to the will. Shallow cross come, Mike cancels it. Outside linebacker, right, sees 2 push vertical, gets a reroute, and then either pins it. If you're gonna, if your safety is gonna stay off digs, if he's safety's gonna drive digs, he would be a curl dropper. Okay, and you gotta work that box drill. All the different route combinations you could get from the inside receivers and the running back, you gotta rep it over and over and over and over and over. You have to do that. If you don't do that, you're gonna have a lot of trouble, okay, matching shallow dig combinations, double mesh combination is going to be very, very problematic for you. That drill right there is we do this every single day if we can. Get a 5-minute period of our box drill of playing with the inside linebacker and the 2 outside linebackers, matching the slots and the running back. Okay, just constantly working. Okay, for example, another one that I like to do is they'll take, USC calls it railroad. They'll hit him on a bullet. Okay, and they'll go double mesh off of it. Well, obviously, we make the push call. He takes the bullet, shallow cross, pass it off, and then come back. Okay? Now and you can see it coming. You wall it, it's coming. Here comes a shallow cross, pass it off, and switch off that thing and carry it back out. Okay? If we're not worried about that, once we work this drill, okay, now we'll spread it out. Okay, and you got to work the next drill. Three receivers. Okay, so now we have Mike, final 3. He's a final 3 player. So what does that mean? Set, go, he's going to turn to 3. If 3 comes right now, he's matching it. Okay? Matching it every single time. Sam Backer, he's going to have first cross between 1 and 2, unless it's a push call from the Mike. So right now, if you get double slant, Sam Backer's all over it, Mike Backer's all over the inside slant, and you have safety and corner for the outside slant coming right to the safety. Okay? If you get, let's go 3-man snag, set, go, corner out, snag, flat. Okay? Mike makes a push call immediately to the Sam. 3 went out, just like in 2x2 when the back went out. Sam takes it. Mike takes snag, we double the corner route. Okay, so any single route that they run, if you're matching it down, you should be able to take away. Every single route. There should not be, when I get the machine up here for the last session, I will talk to you guys about it. We will match down every single route combination, and I'll go through my entire passing game and show it, every single pass play we have, how we would match it in the quarter scheme underneath. You guys got that? You guys take a break right now, and when that machine comes back up, we'll rock and roll with it, okay? Some base pass concepts in the spread offense that people try and screw with defenses. The first one I'm going to talk about is something called 3-man snag. Okay, so 3-man snag is a very simple pass concept. You take number 2, you run him on a corner or a sail route. Some people call it a sail route. Number 1's job is to run a snag route. Cross the first backer in outside linebacker's face and sit down right at 6 yards, 5 yards, and they're going to swing the back with number 3. Okay? All right, so now, pre-snap. The Mike linebacker has told the Sam, hey, look, push alert, which means the running back's offset to your way. Running back is offset towards the Sam backer, so be ready. If he swings, I'm yelling push. You need to push through 2. It does not mean we are jumping the running back. We're just going to push through 2. Does that make sense? We're going to push through 2 and get to the curl like a cover 3 player, curl flat player. Okay? All right. Now, what does that also mean? So right now the Sam back's going to push through 2. He's not going to lose leverage. He's not going to lose leverage on the back. Okay? But he's definitely going to push through 2 and get outside of number 2. The Mike linebacker then is going to look for first crosser. As soon as he sees number 1 come flying in, he's going to match it. The safety is going to play hard and inside on number 2. The corner is responsible for helping the safety because number 1 went in. He's responsible for helping the safety on this sail and 7 cut. So we feel pretty darn confident that we've matched the pattern. Does that make sense? Okay. Here's the deal though. The back side, opposite of the push call, has to wall. You understand that? Has to wall. Okay? Because here's why. If I package as the offensive coordinator, double slant, okay? Double slant, or like a shallow cross, let's say, from the other side. You just hooked him up right over the mic. Who would be there? No one. So now, on the opposite side of the mic, the Will has to put up a wall. Okay, so he's going to be inside of number 2, okay? And he is going to put up a wall and collect the first crosser and play it man-to-man technique. Just like that Will Backer was playing, you called cover 1, and he was playing man-to-man on the slot. Does that make sense? Okay? And as soon as that happens, okay, now you have the safety and the corner left to help out and drive on the second slant. Does that make sense? Okay? If a very popular combination route to 3-man snag is a grab route by 2 and then a dig by 1. We're all over that. Does that make sense? We're all over that. Will Backer is going to collect the grab route, and then that safety now is going to drive. He becomes the insert player on the dig, right? Corner go over the top for any type of double move there. So we're all over that. That's one of Mazzoni's base favorite plays. Is 3-man snag with grab on the backside, and we're all over that cover 8. You guys got that so far? Okay, now. Let's talk about another spread offensive concept. Okay, it's actually more of a West Coast concept called dagger. Okay, you guys see it? Okay, all right. So now, okay, what's the Mike gonna say to the Sam? Push, push, push. Okay, he gets out there into the curl in case we get a curl by 1, right? Hey, just like playing cover 3 technique, man, right? Just curl flat technique, just like cover 3. Okay, same exact thing. Strong safety, remember we're talking about 2 pushes vertical. What's Strong have? Owns number 2 after he's behind the Sam, right? Strong safety owns it. Okay, what's the Mike doing? He's looking to number 2, right? Number 2 pushes vertical. He keeps on sinking and finds first crosser, and you have the Sam and the Mike squeezing that dig. Okay, super simple, right? Okay, super simple. Okay, all right. On the backside again, let's put another route on the backside. The people like running against this to marry it up. I mean, this one is very, very easy. It would be a post wheel concept, okay, or a post flat concept. Again, depending on what quarters you're playing, and some of you guys just came in, let's talk about this right now. Okay, in the whole presentation I had before, I talked about having different answers, okay, and running quarters differently to give the quarterback a different read. Okay, for example, one of the first coverages I talked about was a coverage called palms. Okay, palms is a coverage where all 3 people, okay, are reading number 2. Okay, so if number 2 goes out, the corner comes off on number 2, the safety opens up on 1. Okay, right? That's a very, very good coverage when the receiver splits are not really wide. Okay, if we were playing palms to the backside, we would be all over this. Okay, the Will Backer is going to stay inside of number 2. He sees number 2 go out. He's going to get underneath number 1. Either he's running a dig, a post, a curl. We have the number 2 receiver, number 1 receiver doubled, ends up being number 2. Okay, and then we have the wheel covered by the corner and the flat. The corner who's in palms, who comes off on number 2 and carries the flat to the wheel. Any questions on that? Okay, we're good so far. Okay. Now, let's talk about 3x1.
Post wheel, read.
Good question. Let's go back to it. Okay, let's go back to it. Okay? Very good question. If we're in read, and the Will Backer has the H right in the flat, so you get wheel, he's carrying that on the post. Okay? Remember, they're still reading number 2. Right? So if that corner sees number 2 come out, he knows the safety's going to jump any dig or curl. That's the safety's read. Okay? He robs curls and digs. That corner's going to play deep and help out the Will as he's trying to carry the wheel. Does that make sense? He absolutely has to carry the wheel on that. Okay, the Will Backer, but that corner's going to play deep. Absolutely. Because now the safety automatically, as soon as 2 goes out, safety looks up 1, he has 1, corner gets deep. Now is same as that, it's cover 3, right? He's going to feather back and play that wheel. The wheel backer's job is to create air on the football so he can go ahead and baseball term out that and make a play on the wheel. 100%. Okay, good question. Okay, all right. Next, 3x1. Let me slide over the board a little bit. Let's go here. Okay, let's start with solo. Okay, start with solo. So now we're manning up. We're saying we can hang. We can hang there, right? All right, we feel good about our corner on the X. We feel good about our wheel on the tailback. But here's what you have to think about. If you're manning that, you're in solo. Okay, let's just be chalk wars here. Who would have that shallow cross by the Y? Okay, that's why you got a wall. See what I'm saying? Okay, Mike has a shallow cross. Okay, who has the first crosser from Z or the H? Sam, unless he gets a what? Push call from the mic. Okay, you seeing that? Okay, all right. So now, if I got my outside linebacker on the wheel, my corner on the post, my mic on the shallow, I'm playing inside leverage with the Sam to make sure I got first crosser. If they're doing something, there and there, Sam has first crosser. Okay, from 1 and 2, unless it's a push call from the mic. Okay, so we're good on that. So Mike's job is easy there. Mike's open at 3. 3 goes shallow cross right now. I own 3.
How deep will you allow the mic to call push call from the number 3?
Yeah, anything after 7 yards though.
Okay.
Yeah, right in that 5-7 yard area. Yep. Under 5, well, absolutely. Okay, let's go with that right now. Okay, so now we have the boundary covered. Okay, in solo. We'll come back and run some different coverages in a second. Okay, here we go. All right. Mike, Sam, strong corner, free corner, Will. Okay, so now, okay, you have the same exact play we ran earlier. 3-man snag, okay, to the 3 receiver side. Okay, Mike Backer treats number 3 just like he treated the running back in 2x2. You guys see it? So set, go, Mike goes to the 3. 3 goes in the flat. What does he do? Push, push, push. Tells us the Sam, you are no longer taking first cross or 1, 2. You're going to push through it. Okay? He pushes through it, becomes a curl flat player. Mike's going to finish final 3. Okay? If you get a dig by 2, okay, who's on it? Strong City jumping the crap out of it. Okay? He's inside leverage jumping it. Okay? All right, any questions on that? Okay? All right. If we're going back to a 2x2, okay? All right, and we're in pistol. Pistol creates a little bit more problems in our communication. The nice thing is that while we're sorting out our communication, because he's in pistol, he's further away from attacking us down the field, right? So now, what we would say here is we're double push alert. Okay, we are push alert to both sides. So the Mike Backer's communicating to both the Sam and the Will. Push alert, double push alert, double push alert. To push with the both sides. He's in pistol. I don't know which way he's going. Okay? All right, set, go. He swings this direction. All right, Sam Backer didn't get a push call, so unless he gets a push call, he's balling first cross. So if he gets swing, okay, double slant, he's walling first crosser. We're taking the second slant with the safety. Super easy. Okay, any questions on that? We're manning that, right? We're playing man coverage on that underneath. Okay? All right, now, let's go through some other concepts.
Coach, what's the depth of your safeties?
10 yards.
10?
Yeah, 10 to 12 yards. Okay, they can be a little bit deeper. We'll try to start at 10, and then if we're playing palms, get a little bit deeper, right? Because you got to take an angle, get on top of 1. Yeah, we're 10 to 12 yards deep. Depending, we call it more of what's called an ability alignment. So if the kid's not very good, we deepen him up. He's pretty good, we shallow him up. Okay, ability alignment. Okay, so now let's go to the next concept. Okay, let's go over dig shallow concept. Okay, so here we go. So this is America's play. Okay, so we got shallow, dig, post, flat by the back. Okay, so let's line up our defense. Okay, number one rule by the corner and quarter is not to beat by a what? Post, right? So he's inside of that. Again, we got to communicate what we're doing with the safety. Are we jumping digs or not? Let's say we're jumping digs. Well, let's say we're not jumping digs now. We're not jumping digs. Okay, if we're not jumping digs, that means we have to pin and carry with our SAM. Okay, if we're jumping digs, we don't have to worry about that. So on this side, set, go. Mike opens up. He says push alert to the will. Sandbackers in the wall. So he's walling first crosser. He's staying on number 2 and walling that thing until he's sent them across from 1. 1 goes vertical. He's going to go ahead and take that. Okay, strong safety. Let's say it's double post. Strong safety has the first post, quarter second post. Sam's inside of it. Mike opens up to number 3, which is the tailback until he goes here. Now number 3 becomes the Y. Push alert to the will. Mike takes first crosser. Okay, if you have any type of curl, safety's all over it. Now, the safety in this situation, okay, if we're not playing this safety and jumping the dig, we're playing the safety deep and doubling the post. Here, if you guys remember my first talk to you guys, what did I say that safety does when he sees a shallow cross go away from him? What does he do? He zones off. Okay? He zones off. And the reason why he zones off is because that dig is going to come right at him. Does that make sense? And basically he becomes, guys, as they load the formation up and they give us 1, 2, 3 receivers, as he now becomes the 4 push guy. See how it works? You guys get it? So post snap, they took a receiver and added him over here. Now we have a 3 by 2 formation. Okay? If we're playing solo on the backside, what's that safety you're supposed to do? Rob 3 coming across, right? So that's its natural. If I see 2 go shallow, I zone off. I get my eyes back to the quarterback. I'm looking for something coming back, a base coming back. The quarterback's never going to see it. I'm all over. That's a hospital ball or it's a pick. You guys got what I'm saying? Okay, again, we're inside leverage. 2 go shallow right now. I immediately zone off. I see quarterback. You know the read in quarters is going to be there on that safety. Is that safety jumping the dig? No, he did not. He fired back. Great, I'm throwing the dig. Boom. No, I'm not. He's dead. Okay, you guys got that?
If you are teaching safety to jump the dig, does that backside safety have a different assignment now?
No, he would be the same exact thing. He's looking to help that guy in the second window jump that dig. Okay, he's zoning off, getting his eyes back to the quarterback. There could be a situation where they're going to try to throw, some type of curl flat combo to that with a shallow cross. Okay, if that's the case, he wants to hold tight. If that safety's or that quarterback's looking at his corner inside the field, he wants to hold tight in his corner. If that's if he's dropping back, his eyes are over. He's totally focused over there. He sees that dig break. He's definitely going to make a play on that. Does that make sense? He's definitely going to go ahead and rob that. We'll give him permission to rob that dig. Okay? All right?
Is your decision to rob the dig out of close just depends on your personnel?
Yep. And what you generally do, guys, is you want to talk about what they like doing. If they're a team that just is ripping digs on you, then you want to jump and take away. If they're a team that likes to take shots over the top and really the dig is just there as a grab route, they're fishing, right? And the dig is bait, right? And they're trying to throw posts over the top, then double the post and play the dig with your backers. Does that make sense? Okay, play the dig with your backers and make them throw it. Make them throw it. All right?
I can't run with the wide. You have to stand and start sitting to protect that the shallow cross on the backside.
Yes, okay, now, coach just asked the question, what if you can't run with that and you're like, hey, I'm not going to match it? Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so I want to try to give you guys as much information as possible. If you decided you were not going to play match down quarters, okay, and you're gonna match, but you're not going to man it and carry it, you're not going to wall, here's what would happen. Okay, set, go. Guy runs a shallow cross. Mike opens up to the back. See the guy run a shallow cross. He's going to flip back and play back to that side of the ball. Does that make sense? Okay? All right, he's going to make a cross call to the Will. Will's going to jam. Shallow cross comes. He has now leverage on the shallow cross. Mike Backer's going to feel a shallow cross, take him back, right? And now he's going to squeeze that dig window, try to force a second window throw into the strong safety who saw 2 go shallow cross. Now Mike squeezes it, forces a second window. We talk about all the time, force a second window throw on the digs. Don't let them throw first window. Okay, try to force a second window throw. If you force a second window throw, now the safety is sitting right there as he looks to rob a dig because 2 ran a shallow cross. Does that make sense? Okay, this is how we currently do it right now in my school. My defense coordinator does not like match down. Okay, we matched everything when I was at Bosco. We do not match. We go ahead and we'll spot drop this.
I've just seen a lot of situations where that Mike can't run with the fly.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So then in that situation, then you would not do that. You would just make a cross call, okay, in, cross. Mike Backer sees the cross call. He immediately tries to match to that side of the field because now there's 3 receivers over there. So right now, post snap, shallow cross, we have 3 by 2. So the Mike got to add to the 3 receiver side. He's what type of player? Final 3 player. So he's going to find final 3, correct? Okay, well, if we run a shallow cross over here to a 2 by 2, that means we have 3 receivers over here. I gotta get my butt over there, I'm final 3 player. So we open up, see a shallow cross, flip, open up to the other side, and try to force a second window throw. Okay? Alright, any questions on that? Good question.
Coach, with that spot, now there's double snap by the slots hurt you now? Since Mike opens up and you're not walling off that
Yep.
side.
Absolutely. 100%. It absolutely hurts you. Okay, so again, that's you have to play the game, right? So no. Now, what would you do to stop it? Okay? All right, for example, Coach just asked a great question. He said, well, look, if you're sitting there and Mike's, you're not walling from the other side, if you do this, right? I mean, honestly, the double slant, Coach, wouldn't hurt you as much. It would be the snag swing combination that would hurt you. You get what I'm saying? Because now the sandbacker is screwed because we know we have a corner route coming, right? So the corner's got to feather back to help on the 7 cut, correct? Okay? So now what's the sandbacker going to do if the Mike backer's not going to help him out? The Mike backer's going to hold tight. That slant's going to be hard to throw because he's not pushing, right? But now the Sam is in a bad spot on the 3-man snag concept. Because if he takes the snag route, right, who's open? The flat. If he widens through, who has the snag? You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's the problem. That's why if you're going to spot drop, you're going to give up snag routes. Okay. So if you're giving up snag routes, you can say, okay, I'm going to spot drop my cover 4. If I'm giving up snag routes, I'm going to play man. I'm not going to switch to match. I'm just going to call cover 1. Does that make sense? Now I can play. I can rat the back. I cover the snag route. I have a running. I'm playing boys, right, with the 2 inside backers back at your side. I have the back cover.
And then just another question.
Yep.
Since I know you're a quarterback coach, if that Mike backer reads quarterback, and you have those 2 outside backers spot drop, so say it is a quick game, quarterback looks left, and Mike backer opens up right with the quarterback, takes away that first window. Is that difficult for a quarterback, or is that?
No.
Or do you just tell him to look backside to the?
Okay, so let me tell you. Yeah, 100% coach. In split safety defense, the way we teach our quarterbacks in a situation like that, we're trying to run a horizontal stretch, is we're going to work off of Mike. You know what I'm saying? So whichever way the Mike drops, we're going to work off of him. So now if you have a situation where you're spot dropping and the Mike linebacker does drop one way, we're going to throw the void where you just left. Does that make sense? That's why if you're going to take your Mike, we good?
Coach,
Okay, yes.
I heard that you like to do this a lot. What if the back crosses the quarterback's face to the other side?
Okay. Okay, so now we're saying, okay, right here, okay, set, go, running back's going there, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now the Mike backer is it's gonna be handled just like mesh. So remember that box drill I drew up last time? Okay, so it's gonna be held just like mesh. So now set, go, 3 comes in, right? I'm gonna immediately work back. If I get this, I'm gonna make a push call to that will and switch it off. Does that make sense? That's a tough one. That's why when I told you guys at the end of the last talk, you have to do a ton. If you're gonna run match down, you have to do a ton of box drill. A ton of box drill. And you gotta go, okay, set, go, boom, boom, we got it. Set, go, boom, boom. You have to work it and work it and work it. So those backers can feel 100% that's a problem. Okay? It's no different, coach. It's no different, okay, than if the running back was in the pistol at a 2x2. Okay, so you would just say, hey, listen, this is what these guys do, okay? These guys like lining the running back up on one side and then switching it after the snap. So we're just going to play the exact same way we would play if it was pistol, with a double push alert. So if you lined up here, we'd say, hey, listen, double push alert still. Double push alert. So set, go, he went this way, push. He went this way, push. Does that make sense? Okay, so we run a double push alert there and make sure we're pushing both sides, lining up our receivers, inside. I'll tell you where the real one would be, guys, and this would be a real big problem in teams. It's not a horrible thing because you have a safety behind you, but like a quarter beater. Let's say you're playing a team, they're running that Bronco or Bravo coverage, right? So they take their nickel, they put him outside, the safety's inside, the mic's there because the back there, and they're like this. So set, go, I do this, and I do this. Problems, right? Problems. You do have a safety there, okay, who's going to rob it, but there could be a void there real quick, okay, real quick. So that's my whole point, is don't run the same thing every single play. If all you do is line up like this, you're going to get game plan where you line the running back up. They're going to bring him over here. How about just tear motion right before the snap of the ball? Down, boom, set, go. Now all of a sudden this guy can't get back inside. And now, Mike's pushing, you run a 3-man snag off of tear motion, right? And now that Mike goes, quarterback's going to throw that cavity. Now this safety in that Bronco coverage is going to be able to take that, but it's still probably going to be a 5-yard gain. Does that make sense? Depending on how low you're playing your safety. So there's definitely things that you can do to attack this. Okay, that was a good question. Okay, whoever asked that. All right. Okay. Okay, let's talk about 3x1, the situation that happens. Okay, very popular in the spread offense is to play 3 plus the back. Okay. If we have 3 plus the back, the will is going to tell the mic, I have first crosser. Okay, all right, we make a quads call. Quads. Okay, means we have 4 by 1. Okay, a quads check. Quads. We have 4 receivers there. If they go set, go, right, and run some type of stretch with the running back in the flat, we have issues. Okay, if the will just opens up to the single receiver side. Does that make sense? We have issues. So set, go, we get a quads call. Now the will knows he is going to have first crosser. So let's say if they go set, go, and they run, some type of shallow cross, vertical in route. Okay, and the back's in the flat. Okay, if the Mike backer were to take first crosser still, do you see the giant cavity there with the dig? Okay, the Sam backer is going to play to the curl because he has the back, right? Okay, the Mike backer jumps the shallow cross because that's his rule, first crosser, right? And now you clear the safety out and bring the Z on a dig. Who would have the dig? Nobody. You know what I mean? You could punt it to him, right? So that's why if you go 3 plus the back, you have got to get the will. Now let's do it my way, right? Okay, set, go. First crosser gets passed off to the will, right? Mike makes a push call to the Sam. Where's Mike going now, guys? Playing hook. Playing the hook. Okay? Not only that, is if Mike forces a second window throw and the free safety's in 4 push and sees 3 go shallow cross, what's he doing? Zoning off. Good night. See it? Mike forces a second window throw. Not only that, think about the times you take a Z to get through the second window. It's actually more of a third window, really. And then now, even if you had protection time, now you're throwing to that free safety who's watching that quarterback's eyes as he's shuffling up in the pocket, patting the football, staring it down, and now you're all over it. Does that make sense?
Are you Meg with the corner on the backside now?
Yeah, you're solo.
Okay. So
Yeah, yep, you're solo. You're manned up. You're manned up. Okay? All right. let's go back to 3x1 and talk about what happens if they take the X, okay? If they take the X and run him on a shallow cross. Okay, so now we're here, okay, we're in solo off coverage, and they go, this is a popular one I've seen, right? Okay, shallow cross by the X, bullet by the back. Okay, well, set, go. What's Will's job? First, man the back, right? He mans the back, but he also has first crosser. Okay, he has first crosser, so set, go. First crosser. Remember I told you guys Meg means everything but what? Shallow cross. Man everywhere he goes. What's the one exception? Shallow cross. So set, go, shallow cross. He sees it, he immediately plays it. Okay, corner switches off on the tailback there, and now you're good to go. So now if your Mike backer is over here, men making a push call on 3-man snag, let's say, okay, he's making a push call to the Sam. If you let that go, that ball's going to be caught right there every time with no one there. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions on that?
Why would we need offensive guys to go clear out and have that number one receiver on the linebacker running all across the field?
Okay, Coach, on throw one?
Yeah, so same thing on the backside, but instead of running snag,
Yes.
run all go.
Run all go.
Yeah, I mean, so you get that crosser pretty. How long do you have that nickel carry?
Yeah, not you do not carry him to infinity.
Okay.
No. So Coach, you're saying this, and you're just talking
Yeah.
4 verts. Okay? Alright, so here's the nice thing, Coach. Okay? Is you remember in this quarters concept, you have a deep guy behind everything. Okay, so obviously the corner takes that, strong takes that. These guys are going to reroute, right? And then they are not going to carry to infinity. Right? These are rerouting and getting to the curl, rerouting and getting to the hook. Yes, if the Y runs a 6-yard stick route, he's all over, he's matching it. But when he gets past him, he passes it on to the safety, and these guys are sitting there if they need to at help. Does that make sense? Okay, we do not carry to infinity. Okay, we're carrying 12 yards at 15 yards at the max. Okay, and leveling off in just like you would in a cover 3 zone. Okay. Again, we're matching it under routes, under coverage. We're not matching it vertically. We're going to match underneath routes. That's the idea, is matching everything down. So if you're going to try to run a horizontal stretch on us, we're going to match you down, 5 for 5 across the board. Okay? All right? Okay. Let's talk about some of the other coverages we can do. Okay, so we talked about 3x1. Coach, what if you got a dude to the backside and you cannot hang in solo and you want to add help? Okay, all right. So now we have our will, our free safety, and our corner, and we're going to go ahead and play 3-on-2 to the backside. Okay, how do we play the front side? Okay, now there are some holes to the front side. Okay, because now we have, just to let you guys know, we have 2 underneath and 2 over the top. Okay, so anything 3 vertical over the top or 3 underneath, we have issues with, right? Think about it. Simple as this: hitch, hitch, hitch. Who's open? Z. Okay, let's go back and let's just run simple curl flat concept. Okay, flat curl with some type of hole route. Got issues, right? But we would teach it the same thing as cover 3. We would teach it as, hey, listen, we want to take away the curl, okay, and then rally to the flat, right? We're going to take away the curl, force the longest throw, then we're going to rally to the flat. We're not just going to jump the flat and then just bang curls all night, right? Because what I could do is I go set, go, clear this guy out. The Sam, he's going to clear him out and just run curl flat. That Mike back would have a hard time beating that curl to sandwich up the flat. But, okay, if we're playing stress, he's going to hang in the curl, okay, jam and hang in the hook and then rally to it, we're going to be okay. We're going to give up 5-yard flats, hopefully come tackle, and get them off the field. Okay?
Is that how you play empty, Coach?
No, I'll show you play empty right here. Okay, here's how I play empty. My base check and empty is going to be playing mini. Okay? Let's just go like this. Okay? We're going to man him up. Okay? The nickel, The strong safety and the Mike are gonna play a triangle palms coverage of 3 and 2. Okay, and the backside, okay, we're playing their triangle coverage 3 on 2. Okay? And so on empty, I'm gonna force you, my number one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force you to throw the ball to the field to the number 1 receiver. I'm gonna play him in man.
And rookie crosses, he crosses.
Okay, great question. Okay, so remember, Meg is man everywhere he goes except for what? Except for shallow cross. Shallow cross is gonna let him go. Okay, he's gonna get out of there and play back in his quarter. And now the Mike is taking first crosser, and so is the Will. So set, go. Shallow cross. If it's the first shallow cross, okay, if it's the first shallow cross, the Mike's gonna have it, right? If we go, 3-man snag again, bang, bang, bang. Nickel's gonna play that. Shallow cross play by the Mike. The corner feathers back out of there, okay, and plays the 7 cut. Okay, any question on that? Okay, and over here the Will would take the first crosser. So if you ran anything, some type of dig, shallow combination, a drive concept, right? The Will backer is going to reroute number 2, reading a 2-to-1 read, his hands on 2, eyes on 1. He sees 1 run a shallow cross, he would come off on 1 and take it, and now we'd be able to double the number 2 receiver from the safety in the corner position. Does that make sense? Okay, any questions so far on that?
Coach, if
Yes.
one comes in right away, do you tell that Will to not worry about the reroute and just jump the shallow?
Correct.
So
Get a wall.
don't overemphasize the reroute.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The closer the split of 1 and 2, the more you got to worry about that, right? So, so I tell my Will, I said, listen, guys, if it's a normal split where there's 10 yards in between the 2, yeah, you can get hands on 2, right? Because it's going to take the X to get 10 yards to you. It's going to take them a little bit to get there. But if you have a split where they're like this, like in a stack, almost, yeah, no way. I mean, if you try to get hands on 2, that guy's by you. So you'd have to actually loosen up inside, right? And make sure that we're playing this, or if you get that, you're able to take them and now allow these guys to play too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, any question on that? Yes, sir.
Do I have to check the palms when they're bunched like that?
Yeah, we actually call it float because it's a palms definition of, I don't want a literal kid sitting there and go, well, coach, in palms are supposed to be inside leverage of the number 1 receiver 7 yards off. Because we would have some joker at Mission Gale go like this. Like, coach, I'm 1 yard inside and 7 yards off. No, you jack. So we make a float check. Okay, we call it float, which is basically palms with the corner outside leverage at 8 yards, 7, 8 yards. Does that make sense? So it's just that alignment. Okay. All right. And that has issues, right? That has issues. I actually think offenses want to see in stack. They want to see you in that type of float concept because 2 in and 2 out beats you. I think what hurts stack more. What's that? Yeah, I think what hurts stack more is to take either take the corner and press the point, or that'd be a man look, or play read where the Will backers get so if you're getting this this corner's in a bind, play with the Will. Take your Will and play him on the point, jamming it up and then expanding, to the flat. So now the safety, even though he gets a vertical, release, he's gonna get a reroute. He can play it, and that corner can play softly. You play inside. Now, obviously, if you do that, you have, that you have to account for. So, that can be an issue where you have to do it some other way with the Mike backer not pushing weak. And stacks do give people problems, 100%. What I would teach in this, if we're getting 2 out in our normal match down look, if we're playing palms float and the Will's inside and he can't get a good reroute, I would make them throw that out. I'm not going to jump that out and give that corner route up. I'm going to, again, get out of that and get my butt to the sideline and try to play both, but make them throw my 5-yard hitch and not give up, or 5-yard out, I should say, and not give up a corner route.
The technique for Reed and Buzz is the same for that Will backer?
No.
The Buzz out underneath?
No, it's not, because in Reed, he's only going to the flat if number 2 goes to the flat. In buzz, he's going to the flat to double one regardless. Does that make sense? So what we're saying in buzz, guys, is we're saying this. This guy right here is a dude. And we don't feel comfortable, on this corner holding up. We want to get help to him and alleviate that. So you can either play cloud and put the corner down and see if you can help over the top, right? Or you can play buzz, where you're going to take the wheel and you're going to drop. So any route that guy runs, that wheel backer and corner are going to high-low. Okay, obviously if you have a flat concept, right now the safety is going to double one in buzz. It's the safety that has the same read in buzz as well as read, not the backer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? All right. Okay, now, to the field. Let's say we're going to play 3x1 again. Okay, and we decided to play, well, the cloud's the same exact thing. Let's say we decide to play mini to this. So now mini to this is going to be, okay, we're going to cloud the boundary. Okay, so we want to take away the boundary game. These guys are a big two-man snag team. They love running two-man snag and playing off our will. Okay, so we're going to cloud the boundary. We're going to take that away. Corner takes the flat. Safety's over the top for any type of box corner, anything like that. To the field, we're going to play mini because we don't want to get hit with the curl flat concept. Right, so we're going to take away the outside receiver, and we're going to play a 3-on-2 triangle to 2 and 3. Okay? Again, Mike Backer has first crosser. Will linebacker has first crosser. Okay? Any combination of route. Okay, so if you get 3 going out, 2 coming in, Mike takes 2, nickel takes 3, and then you have to win at corner on 1. So if you ran number 1 on a curl, on a dig, and he could beat it, then yeah, it's going to beat you. It's going to beat you. You're going to lose. You're going to lose if you can't win. But in high school football, let's face it, how many times are other teams' offenses throwing the ball to the number 1 receiver to the field in 3x1 from a high school hash?
Almost never.
Yeah. Yeah, so to me, playing mini is really advantageous for me because the guy I'm playing man-to-man on, they don't throw the ball to anyway. And I got everyone else 3-on-2. I'm a +1 advantage everywhere else. Whatever route concept I draw to the boundary, whatever route concept I draw, I should stuff it. I'm a +1 advantage. So if I run curl flat to the boundary, set go, curl flat. Okay, he reads 2 to 1. 2 goes in the flat, corner comes off. I get to the curl, safety's over the top. I got it. Post flat. Safety goes to the post, I'm underneath it, causing him to throw some air on the ball. If he runs, a smash concept, which is vertical go, safety's over the top because we're reading 2 to 1. Anything they run to the boundary should be good to go. Post wheel, he's running a wheel right into the corner, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Anything to the boundary should be good. Now, you can make arguments, say, well, coach, okay, hold on now. What if you ran circus to the boundary? What if you ran circus, which is the old corner strike, right, from freaking Madden, I guess. My kids tell me it's what they call it in Madden. Oh, coach, that's called corner strike in Madden. Cool. Okay, so box corner, right? Okay, yeah, no, that could be problematic. Okay, right? But what are you going to tell? What was the rule I told you guys early on? Are we jumping flats? No, we're not jumping flats. We're not jumping flats to give up 20-yard completion explosive plays. We're not doing that. Okay, what we do is when we see 2 come off, we come off, get our butt to the side, so there's your butt cheeks to the sideline, and we're going to get our eyes on the quarterback and read front shoulder, right? Get our eyes to the quarterback, read the front shoulder of the quarterback, and see what he's trying to do. Okay, if his shoulder's high shoulder, pointed to the corner route, I'm helping out. My butt's to the side so I can go either way. I don't have to flip my hips. If my butt was still facing here, right, now I got to flip my hips to help out on the corner route. My butt's to the side. I'm already opened up. My eyes on the quarterback, butt's to the side. I'm going to see what he's looking at. If he's looking at the corner route, I'm gonna get deep, right? If not, don't forget, we have a curl player here. So it's not like if he plays the corner route and they throw the ball to the flat, there's no one there. That will backer, as soon as he breaks back out, he's gonna keep on expanding, right? He should be able to play that as well. He's gonna be completed, right? But he's gonna be tackled. Okay, does that make sense? Okay? And to the field, the Mike's Wallen, first crosser. Okay?
Coach, how do you play the versus squads, RPO? Are you going to tighten the safety down over number 3 in a minute?
Okay, good question. Let's talk about RPO.
About 7 minutes, coach.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about RPO. Okay, so now the issue is the Mike's in conflict. We all agree? Okay, so if we're running an RPO, which means you're going to block the defensive end. The RPO means you're blocking all 4 of the down linemen, right? Okay, your RB is no longer zone read on the end. You're blocking the end. Okay, it's whoever's responsible for the gap inside the end. It's your RPO. You guys all agree with me on that? So we're going to tilt our zone to the will. We're going to count for the will. The Mike backer's in conflict. What do I do? Do I play my gap or do I play this RPO to the stick route? Okay, so one answer, coach, could be like you said. Do you tighten the safety down? You could, okay? You could tighten the safety down. If I was going to do that, though, I would line up. I would give you the RPO. At the snap of the ball, I would rock and roll my safeties and play 3 and insert my safety as the hook player, not the curl player. Does that make sense? Okay, all right, the Boston Frisco stuff. I would insert him right on top of 3, let my Mike play the gap, and then take it away with my safety, right, and play my nickel as your normal curl flat player and cover 3. That's the first thing I would do. Okay, I would disguise it and take it away. The next thing you can do, if you didn't want to do that, because you're like, well, crap, coach, you do that the first time. Second time, all I did was they ran, flash 4 verts at us. They flashed it, we spun. 4 verts, good night. Okay? All right, we want to stay in a too high concept. Okay. Pinch the end. Okay? Next thing I would do is I would pirate the end, take away his conflict, have the Mike play outside. Here's the beautiful thing about the RPO, is they're not blocking. Right? They're not blocking, they're running a route. So if the Mike backer is telling the quarterback, give the football, okay, and then the ball gets spilled, this guy's running a route, if they're running stick, let's say, he's running a route trying to find grass away from the Mike, and the Mike just comes up and makes a play. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now, if you're facing teams like Corona Centennial, and they know you're doing that, and they're taking the end, and they're arcing the tackle to your Mike, okay, now we got all kinds of different problems, okay? Now, you have to make a decision on how you're going to play that. Am I going to tell the end to freeze? Well, if you do that, there's no one there now because they basically added a gap by arcing their tackle. Does that make sense? They've added a gap by arcing their tackle. So now this end, if he gets arced and is blocking your Mike, if that end crashes down, now the quarterback's going to pull the football. The tackle's actually blocking your Mike. Right, and the nice thing is there's no RPO, so you can play it, with the safety. What I would say is, make him pull, right. And my thing is this: in too high, defensive coordinators, we know we're going to be a gap short a lot, right? So in too high, if you're getting zone read, make the quarterback pull. You have your safety coming down as run support. If it's 1 high, you don't have the same support on an RPO. Make freeze and make them hand the ball off. You have a gap. Accounted for every single guy. Does that make sense or no? Want to draw it up? So what I'm saying is this, coach. Okay, so if we went back to that drawing and we just lined up in cover 3. Okay, and I said let's just go old school cover 3. So now our strong safety's over 2, right? My nickel's over 3, I have my will, my Mike clearly in the box. It could, almost like it's going to be like a man free look. Okay, great. I have a guy for every single gap. Okay? All right, so now if they're running zone read and they're trying to work this, why would I crash? Right? And now he's in conflict as we run some type of, let's say we ran like a key one or something like that, or a bubble. Now you're screwed on the perimeter. Now you have the quarterback running on the perimeter, attacking your force player, and he can't play both. How is he supposed to play if he attacks, I dish it, and we're gone? If he takes that, he's gone. Why would you do that? If you're in one high, my suggestion is freeze with the defensive end, make him hand the ball off, and then take your free safety and insert him as a secondary run support. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to freeze. Ball's getting handed off. My Mike's going to fit his A. My nose guard's in his A. My Will's in his B. My N and my 3 technique are in their B and C. I froze there, made sure the ball was handed off. Right now I'm going to feather back in and try to close that gap down. Now as this thing gets spilled, right, it gets spilled, here comes your free safety, right? In cover 3, what's your free safety do in the run game, guys? What's he do? Alley. Runs the alley. Right? So I have enough guys to fit the box. I have every single gap accounted for. So fit it and let your free safety run to the alley. And the nice thing is, and here's the suggestion I'm going to tell you guys. I know it's kind of off topic. Here's the suggestion I'm going to tell you guys. You have to communicate what the defensive end's responsibility is in the zone read game to the secondary. Okay? Because here's my thing. If I'm the free safety, and I know that the defensive end is freezing in cover 3, he is playing the quarterback, what can I immediately track? Running back. Does that make sense? If I know the defensive end is crashing and playing the running back, what can I track? If I know, track the quarterback. That's all Monterey did to Centennial, guys. I wish I could pull it up for you right now. You know, Coach. Is they went bare front, crashed the living F out of, let me just draw it up. Crashed the living F out of the running back. I mean, they hit him so hard they knocked him out of the game. Like 3 different times. They were killing the kid.